Politico on Monday that he will become national senior advisor to the Draft Beto campaign. That sounds like a horrible beer, probably a Pilsner.
The Defenders with Stephen Airy, tonight at 9.
MoJo 5-0.
Have you done it? You catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror?
I'm one of those people you don't want to see naked.
Yeah, most of us. But I mean, you look and you're going, what the?
I know.
How did I get to whatever?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible. Hey there, it's Doc Thompson and Brad Staggs to tell you about a different way to shed those pounds. This is brand new tech. It's only been around for a couple of years or so. It was based on research from the University of California that said there's a molecule called OEA that's found naturally in your body. It produces it in the Mediterranean diet, that when taken in concentrated amounts, it will actually make you feel fuller and boost your metabolism.
I've lost about 10 pounds so far.
It's amazing.
It
now,
really is cool.
A company said, we can take this to market and make this great product that'll help you. It's called RiduZone, RIDUZone.com, RIDUZone.com. Brad's worked. It's worked for Brad's, worked for me, countless other people. Go to RiduZone.com and try today. You're going to love it. RiduZone.com. Remember that, RIDUZone.com.
MoJo 5-0. The question isn't
Who's going to let us?
the question is who's going to stop us?
The mothership has landed.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be...
It's going to be one of those shows,
It's going to be
Brad.
one of those days, I think. But at least it's Friday, so it's... wow, let's do it. Put your seatbelt on. May be a rough ride.
Coming to ya on a dusty road.
Good loving.
I got a truckload.
I'm going to let you sing the rest of it.
You got something, so don't worry.
Come on.
I'm coming.
That's right.
I'm a soul man.
Oh, yeah. It's Friday.
What you going to do now, Brad?
It's Friday. It's an interesting day here. Raiders stopped by the studio, and
He brought a guest.
well, technically she's not a guest. I mean, a new intern is I mean, she'd be technically more of a part of the staff, wouldn't she? At this point,
It's funny that you use the word staff.
yeah, that was probably a poor choice of words on that in the particular sentence. But there is an intern sitting in on the program today. For those of you listening to the podcast or the live stream without the visual, you won't hear much. She doesn't have a speaking role.
Should we introduce her?
Yeah, apparently her name is Lusty. She's one of the Jack Hole Nation. She is Lusty Jill Hole, and she is.
I don't know how you sit on that side of the glass. That's what.
I'm really not sure what to say. Her hands, and I mean this with no disrespect whatsoever, but her hands remind me of lobster claws, really. Which I'm not sure if that should frighten me or not, but it brought back a
How can that even remotely be sexy?
lobster claws.
No, that
What?
plastic thing there.
I'm not sure I would. You don't have to insult the poor woman on her first day. I think that you could be a little more gentle than that.
I guess that could be.
Whiskey Six and the rest of the crew from Off Track, and they decided we needed an intern here in the studio, so now we have one. I think there's a nice seat for her over on the couch in the meantime until Brandon gets in. I can't wait to see him try to pry her out of the chair. That should be an interesting.
There is that.
So yeah, if you aren't watching the video portion of the program, you might want to find someplace where you can before Brandon gets here, because I mean, if he gets here, the guy's never on time. Supposed to be here 7 minutes ago, but no. So when he gets here, it'll be interesting to see him untangle her from her seat. And as I said, she doesn't speak much, so we'll just see how the morning kind of unravels. It's certainly one of those. Is that a cat fight I hear? Is that a cat fight I hear? Could that be Laura Ingraham?
It could be.
and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who from this day forward, by the way, to me will be AOC. She's firing back. AOC is at Laura Ingraham after Laura and a guest were mocking her. Her show on Tuesday night, Laura said that Ocasio-Cortez introduces herself with a put-on accent. She does the Latina thing where she does her, her Anastasio Ocasio-Cortez.
Anastasio. That's funny.
I think this is the ultimate troll from Laura Ingraham. Ocasio-Cortez, so many syllables, so many. She responded by saying, if the Latina thing means I actually do the work instead of just talk about it, then yeah, I'm doing the Latina thing. Unless, of course, she's talking about being multilingual.
That was funny. You said that with an accent.
You know what I'm saying?
Multilingual.
That would be Armando saying it that way. Armando is also multilingual. Let Armando help you. Let's not forget Armando is a pigeon. She says which we know isn't the Latina thing. It's a 21st century thing. Being multilingual like Armando. She then followed up with a tweet blasting Ingraham for labeling newly elected congressional Democrats as radicals. And she suggested that Fox News host was using women of color to stoke fears among viewers. I'm not so sure that was stoking fears. But I will say this, she is awfully sensitive about that name.
They call me Hell. They call me Stacy. They call me Hell. They call me Jane. That's not my name.
That's not her name.
That's not my name.
That's not her
Not
name.
her name.
That's not my name.
That's not her name.
That's not my name.
You ever been to a Ting Tings concert?
No, I have not.
I'm just wondering what they do after they play that song. I mean, I'd love to see them, actually.
After they play that song?
After they play that
They really don't have anything else to do.
It's
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, and I would like to play a cut from our new CD, which is your cue to go to the bathroom. It's like going to a Cheap Trick concert. They opened for Journey when we saw them in Nashville.
Yeah.
There are like 4 songs that you know that Cheap Trick did.
Exactly.
And the rest are...
They play one, they play 2, and then they go into new music, which you're like,
that's the
Jesus
cue. I'm
Christ.
going to go to the snack bar.
And then they play the big song right at the end.
Yeah. Time Magazine says that Ocasio-Cortez staffers are stiffening in fear as every time they hear a knock on the door.
What?
Well, it's kind of strange. They say that they're getting a lot of death threats.
Who knocks? Oh, I see.
So they did a story on AOC and her staff. Again, poor choice of words. But it talked about how her staff, damn it, basically every time there's a knock on the door, they kind of get freaked out because she is, and I've said it before, she's rattling cages. Don't underestimate this woman.
Not at all. I mean,
don't underestimate Big
Did I
O.
see she's on the cover of Time Magazine?
Yes. Do not underestimate AOC. The scary things could happen. Every 10 minutes or so, they say somebody knocks on the big wooden door of AOC's office on Capitol Hill. The noise makes staffers stiffen. It's almost always a harmless fan, one of dozens who arrive each day, leaving neon-colored Post-it notes as devotional offerings. Can you walk right into Congress?
Into the House floor?
No, into wherever her office is.
Absolutely.
You can just walk right in. And
Yep, you sure can.
I told you.
We did that.
You did?
Yeah.
Do you
Not
have
to hers.
Do you have to like walk through a metal detector?
You
Sure.
got a metal detector when you come right in the building, but then you can walk the hallways, walk into any office you want to. We were doing that with representatives or congressmen and senators.
But you can't do that with the White House.
But you can't do it at the White House. Correct.
It's hard to get very close to the White House at all anymore.
As a matter of fact, have you not heard the story of Matt running up on Trey Gowdy? We saw him walking down the street, and Matt goes to chasing him. I mean, he does. He starts running after him. Congressman. I'm like, if I'd saw Matt coming and I was a congressman, I would have said, run!
Yeah, I would have had my security detail.
But he was walking with someone from his office. They were headed over to the Capitol Hill Club, and he just stopped and turned around and shook his hand, and It was
Gave him
fun.
a sweet kiss, sweet tender kiss.
It was pretty cool to be able to, because you see these
here's
people
the
on
thing.
TV all the time.
That's the problem right there. Is we put these people up on a pedestal. When
They are public servants.
that's
just
all
like
they
everything
work
else. That's
for
right.
us.
Which is why you can walk around in their office building.
The president works for us.
Yeah.
Can't walk around in his house.
You cannot.
You used to be able to walk right up to the front door of the White House. You used to be able to sit. There's a picture of my sister who's
Now,
10
if you
years
climb
older
the
than me.
fence, they tase you.
Oh, you used to be able to walk. You used to be
Throw
able
a
to walk
dog
right up,
on you.
sit on the front steps. You could take a picture right there. There's a picture of my sister sitting on the front steps of the White House. You cannot do it anymore.
Yeah.
Which, but we have made these people into royalty. I mean, it would be more appropriate to say, "Yo, Mr. Gowdy, I have a few words for you.
Yeah.
Either good job, there'd be a little something extra in your paycheck this week." But we've turned them into royalty. It's no wonder they get up there and get a big head. It's our fault.
But we walked into several congressmen's offices. Now, when
Did
you walk
in
into
and say,
the office,
"What's up, bitches?"
Nope. When you walk into the office, there's about 20 interns.
Are they hot?
Most of them.
Why isn't that shocking?
Yeah. We got to walk the tunnels
Are they as hot as Lusty over here?
from the Capitol building over to the House building.
Is that
It
a
was really
euphemism?
crazy. No, seriously. With the tunnels.
That's what I'm saying. Is that a euphemism?
It is not.
Uh-huh. Secret
If you've never
tunnels.
been to D.C., you guys need to go at least once.
DC is a
It is a cesspool of crap, but I'll tell you, go once, go look at all the monuments, look at where your
weird.
American heritage comes from, and then don't ever go back because, geez.
we walked by the and actually Doc and I walked into the Postal Service Museum.
Yeah,
What the hell?
exactly.
Why is there a Postal Service Museum?
I found it pretty interesting, actually.
Did you go in?
I did.
Did you walk through it all?
Yep.
Oh, so when we got there, it wasn't open yet.
Oh, yeah, we
I mean,
walked through it. Me and my family, we walked through that because we were staying.
Look at this stamp from 1946.
That's not all it is.
Oh my gosh, look at this one.
That's
What,
not
what,
all
the,
it
what do
is.
they have in here? A print,
Airplanes.
in the Postal
automobiles.
Museum?
Yeah, from the Pony Express.
Do they have
The
a pony?
old airplanes.
Do they have a pony?
They had a stuffed pony.
Here's old Bob, the pony who used to deliver mail.
It's
They
got
have a
an
stuffed
intriguing
pony?
history, dude. Yeah.
Oh, I know it does. It's so a lot of things have an intriguing history. How much are we paying to keep the Postal Service Museum open?
I don't know, but you ought to see the building it's in.
I know it's huge. All of the buildings in D.C. are these marble and they're these monstrosities of. I know initially they were supposed to be the signs of opportunity in this country,
Right.
but they have turned into these, to me anyway, the things that make DC such a cesspool. It's like, why are we spending money on this building? I mean, remember,
So there were 3 places in D.C. that just really impressed me, of course, besides the White House, and you can't get close to it. And that is the Supreme Court building, because it has stairs for days.
Right.
Walking up the front, and a ton of movies have been filmed there. The Lincoln Memorial, which has stairs for days,
Right.
but it's at the end of the reflecting pool.
Yeah.
What's it called there?
Yeah, the reflecting pool.
Yeah, I know, but what is that area called?
DC.
The mall?
Yeah,
the
yes,
mall.
the mall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, any of the museums. What are they? I forget what it's called.
Smithsonian?
Smithsonian.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's and
Are you drunk? Have you been
no,
drinking?
no, I'm not. I just forgot the word. But I'm going to tell you, you could literally spend a week in D.C. seeing all of the sites, but then that's the only week you ever need to spend there. Trust me.
Yeah, it's and
Get
you
the
don't
hell
want
out.
to. You don't want to take a wrong turn because you will end up in a place you don't want to be.
You don't want to be.
At least if you're not armed, you don't want to be there. Wait until you hear what day it is.
You can go to Ford's Theater and see where, and then walk across the street to
Other
see
than
where
that,
Lincoln
how
died.
did you enjoy the play, Mrs. Lincoln?
Exactly.
We'll tell you what day it is next. I mean, I know it's Friday, but it's kind of a special day. After we tell you about Love My Tummy. I took my Atrantil this morning.
I love my tummy.
I love my tummy. There could be less of my tummy, and I'm working on that. But in the meantime,
You know what Patrick said yesterday?
What?
He's like, man, this Atrantil and this Riduzone are making me run back and forth.
well, and again, it's I don't know that
Like, are you
Atrantil.
supposed to take those together?
Atrantil doesn't. What that does is it works on the bad gut bacteria that you have.
And the Riduzone flushes it.
Yeah, it certainly does. If you're having an issue, it's a 1-2 punch. It'll put you out. But go to lovemytummy.com and find out why gut health is so important. It's so important that, as we said yesterday, Dr. Ken has a show over on Spoonie. It's not just because he's a handsome, good-looking doctor. That's not the reason we gave him a show.
Not at all.
Not even a little. I mean,
although his entourage that comes in with him.
Yeah,
we don't mind them being up here.
Nope. That could have been one of the reasons. But the main reason is it's so important to know about this. It's so important to know about gut health. There was a story yesterday on how it might be the fountain of youth. The fountain of youth we've all been looking for might be right there inside you. Go to lovemytummy.com and just learn more about it and find out why it could be absolutely perfect for you. Today is, of course, where did it go? There it is. Today is a very special day. It's a special day in that it is Talk Like William Shatner Day. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. But can you talk like William Shatner?
All you have to do is emphasize each word
and pause.
Spock. But it reminded me of this bit that, well, it's not a bit, it's a recording session that William Shatner did for some event. And the producer of this spot that William Shatner was doing decided that he was going to give William Shatner some direction.
Oh, the voiceover direction.
Yes.
I remember this.
This is classic and worth every penny.
This is William Shatner, and I would like to invite you to take a journey with me into the 21st century. So take the next few minutes and listen very closely. You'll be amazed at what you hear. Okay?
Can there be a little more excitement in the beginning?
I love it. Okay. All right.
It sounded like really laid, really super laid back.
Well, I'm saying, okay. I'll try and do that. Let's do take two. This is William Shatner, and I would like to invite you to take a journey with me into the 21st century. So take the next few minutes and listen very closely. Speak up. And maybe you better do it the way you hear it. Do it for me. No, I mean, just go ahead.
This is William Shatner, and I would like to invite you to take a journey with me into the 21st century. So take the next few minutes.
This is hilarious.
And listen very closely. You'll be amazed at what you hear.
Is that the way you'd like me to do it? Okay, I'll do it that way. Okay, ready. This is William Shatner, and I would like to invite you to take a journey with me into the 21st century. So take the next few minutes and listen very closely. You'll be amazed at what you hear. Okay, I think that came pretty close.
Are you making fun of me?
No, No, I believe you asked that was about the way you did it. I wasn't jesting.
Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know.
No, I insist. Now, what I want you to do is is that satisfactory to you?
Maybe I should have just kept my mouth shut.
No, because if your mouth were open, you'd have popped some pills in them. So, do the next paragraph for me so I can get an idea of how you want it. This is page 2.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, this dude dug his grave already.
I know.
No, I don't think I do. I would like to hear you read the second paragraph so I can do it that way.
It is over with. That session is
I
done.
really, now that I looked at the different things you did, I really like the first one. But
No, I like it better the way you did it. I insist that you show me how to do page 2.
oh, geez.
Really, I mean it. Please read so I can get an idea of what you want. No, I'm going to do it the way you think it should go. No, I am going to do it the way you're reading it. Okay? I know you're here to see that I do it the way the company wants it, so I'm going to do it the way you read it.
Oh, but I don't want you to do it.
But you're telling me how you want me to do it.
Well, I'm sorry.
No. I am going to do it your way. No, there's no apology necessary. You
This is
know what you
rapidly
want.
getting
You
uncomfortable,
know
isn't
what
it?
you want.
No, I don't. I mean, I really.
Well, I mean, you come in here and you don't know what you want?
Well, I come in here because I know you're a professional. I mean, and you know how to do it. And I'm sorry I even said anything.
No, I am going to do it the way you want. Every paragraph. And you'll send it back to town and you'll see whether, I hope it will please everybody else.
That is a classic example of why you don't hire somebody who's good at what they do and then tell them how to do it.
Exactly.
You let them do what they do the way they do it. That's why you hire William Shatner. By the way, I think I know the voices that were laughing in the background. They were on the Howard Stern show. That is such a classic. That and the Casey Kasem tape, when Casey just lost it over the story about the dead puppy. Well, everything has repercussions. I don't want anything to do that would rear its ugly head. I don't want to do anything that would rear its ugly head. Who said that? That was Lori Loughlin. When she revealed she didn't want her children to pay the price for her mistakes. Now, this was actually in an interview that she did years ago for CBN, the Christian Broadcasting Network. This is how she said that's how she chose her acting roles, because she didn't want her kids to pay for her mistakes when it came to her morals. She said,
okay.
Yeah. She said, except for that one thing she just did. Her daughters now are in the headlines, obviously. And wait, this is, she's got two daughters. One is Olivia. And Olivia had a nice little thing going. Olivia and Isabella. Isabella's 20. Both of them have now dropped out of USC. Olivia had a great thing going with her YouTube channel. She had a deal with Sephora, I think, and another makeup company or another some other company. Yeah. They've both dropped her. So now Olivia never, she said she never wanted to go to college. They pushed her into going to college.
Is it USC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both of her kids had to drop out of USC because they pushed both of them to go to college. And this is the hypocrisy, and I mean, Lori Loughlin's cute. Apparently not smart, but cute. Yeah, they paid the $500,000 fee, otherwise known as a bribe, to get the kids into USC, and now, as is so often the case with these the progressive mindset, whenever the goal of whatever any particular project they're working on, the goal is generally 180 degrees off from what happens.
Right.
And so these two kids, and I have no idea if they're good kids, bad kids, whatever, but now they're paying the price because the parents wanted to make damn sure they got into a good school. On the CBN interview, Scott Ross asked Loughlin how, as a person of faith, she holds on to her beliefs in an industry that crosses the line morally, ethically, in so many ways. And she said, I do believe in God. I was raised Catholic before I even had children. I was always very thoughtful about projects that I chose for myself. I would say to myself, can my father watch this? And if my father couldn't watch it, I didn't do it. And then, of course, she became the darling of the Hallmark Channel, which has since dumped her butt as well.
Didn't USC come out yesterday?
Oh yeah,
with a statement.
Yeah, they're doing well. These two kids, they dropped out. I call them kids. I guess they are. They dropped out before
USC made the statement.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't want to. I'm sure that they were going to get a bunch of flack while they were there. So they both dropped out. And SC is going to withhold transcripts and withhold grades until they do a thorough investigation and find out who was and wasn't involved.
I heard that USC banned them for life.
That's kind of weird.
That's what
Why
I heard.
would you ban it for life?
No, that they can't go back to school there.
When you're 50, you can never come back.
Yeah.
Okay. If I'm Olivia, I'm like, the whole reason
she didn't want to go to school anyway.
Right. She didn't want to go. So damn
it. I'm going to miss the parties and the games. Damn it.
Jeez. You know what they should have done is just invested quite well. And I'm hoping that Lori Loughlin did this, invested her pennies well.
Era Capital Management.
Yes, I'm hoping that she maybe gave a call to the fine folks at Era Capital Management before all of this went down. Because her investment, I'm not so sure she's going to have a lot of money to invest going forward. I'm sure she'll get a job. But if you want to make sure that your retirement is well secured, I highly recommend Era Capital Management. It's going to sneak up on you. If you're a young'un, it's going to sneak up. You're going to be old like Ron, guy behind the glass, and me before you know it. And you want to look at us as though we are the examples of what not to be. I mean, sure, we've made fortunes, but we've pissed them all away, much like Jimmy Buffett. Don't piss away your fortune. Go to eracapitalmanagement.com. Prepare for retirement. It is headed straight at you like a train. Keep your eyes open for trains, by the way. That's just a little friendly advice from me to you. They sneak up on you as well. eracapitalmanagement.com. Secure your future. It's your life, your era. Insert the disclaimer here. Speaking of money, Sam Cooke is coming up next. IRS scams. Oh, it's the season. I'll tell you how to avoid them. And your Daily Mojo continues.
Happily promoting the 4Fs. Freedom, faith, free markets, and fun. MoJo 50.
I'm Michael Pelka from PureOpelka.com. Here's your 2-minute drill. How about a Friday flashback from CPAC?
Today, I'm proud to announce that I will be very soon signing an executive order requiring colleges and universities to support free speech if they want federal research dollars.
So that promise was made at CPAC last month, and the president on Thursday gathered a bunch of college students in the White House and signed the executive order that says, if you want federal money, you better make sure you support the Constitution, especially the First Amendment. We don't have free speech zones on campus. The whole damn country is a free speech zone. And is it significant that this happened? Yes, it is, because the federal government hands out over $24 billion every year to public and a few private universities. In fact, the money is so huge, you would be stunned. Johns Hopkins University in Maryland gets more than $2 billion of your money and my money. So colleges, if you want money for your research projects or for whatever else you're up to, you better make sure that that First Amendment, the very first part of the Constitution, is protected. Not free speech zones, not permits, not limiting speech, not certifying speech, but free speech. Remember, after the first, everything else comes second. Testudo, my friend. Testudo.
Mike Opalka's 2-minute drill is powered by MoJoWildRice.com. Their wild rice is a superfood, gluten, sodium, fat, and cholesterol-free, yet high in fiber, protein, zinc, phosphorus, and trace minerals. But you're going to love it because it's delicious. MoJoWildRice.com. MoJoWildRice.com.
The Daily Mojo.
The Jack Hole Nation on top of it. Steve42 tweeted, Lusty looks surprised to be an intern this morning. She always has that look on her face for whatever reason. Pink Floyd, hang on. I was pissing and I heard something about my fortune. See, that's what happens. Funny. And DMXDM, Lori Loughlin, is part of the CBN now, too. The CBN being the College Bribery Network. That's a good one. Oh, he also mentioned Shatner. Still the Twilight Zone, there's a man on the wing. There's a man on the wing of this plane. That was the one that they, remember that?
You do a good
Zone?
Shatner.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard. He's one of the Star Trek stars I've not met.
Really?
A friend of mine, Crystal, she is out in California and she is a horse aficionado. And Crystal has met, she says he's a great guy.
I've heard he's a great guy until you try to give him direction on voiceover.
Well, again, you don't hire Bill Shatner. I call him Bill. You don't hire Bill Shatner and then direct him on how to do the voiceover. You hire Bill Shatner because he talks a lot like Bill Shatner.
Yeah, he does.
So you get him into the studio, you give him the script, you say, here, read this, please. And then you say, thank you.
The only direction I probably would have given would have been before he read, and I would have said, fantastic, Bill, can you read it for me 3 times? And then just go and take one of the 3.
I'm not even sure I would say that. I'm not, because he knows, he's going to know when he walks in there. He's going to, after he reads it the first time, he's probably going to say either, I like that, or was that okay? I mean, he's a professional.
Well, if he asks you if that's okay, the answer is absolutely. Thank you.
Yes. Unless, I mean, you can go down the road of, and a lot of directors will do this. They'll say, okay, can we do one more just in case it was a glitch on the tape or whatever? Of course, you don't use tape anymore, but you still have these computer, we're never going to have dropouts again because we don't use tape anymore. Now you have, in the middle of something, you have.
Yep.
So there's always something else. You do an extra is called a safety, but other than that, you hired William Shatner. Let him do his thing. This is the time of the year. Not the time of year everybody looks forward to. This is the time of year when we all start getting our taxes ready and we talk to the accountants and we decide how much money as good American citizens we want to hand over to the federal government so that they can, in fact, spend our money more wisely than we would ever begin to know how to spend our money. I mean, I think we all agree on that as Americans, don't we? I mean, I think that's what I do every year. I think it's like how much do you guys need? Because I got plenty of it laying around, and I know you know much more about how to spend this money than I ever possibly could imagine knowing how to spend it. That's what the IRS is there for. The thing is, there's some bad people out there that will they'll be trying to call you too. And if you've ever had one of these scam IRS calls, they can be a little frightening. Sam Cook is a tech and data journalist. He's a privacy advocate. He's a cord-cutting expert. You fit all that onto a business card, Sam?
Yeah, I try to.
Yes. Are these calls getting more and more prevalent? And how do you know the difference between the real IRS when they call you and these fake people when they call you?
So in terms of the prevalency, yes, they're getting more prevalent. You know how everyone has a cell phone these days. Those calls are mostly coming to cell phones. So they used to come to landlines, but nobody has a landline anymore. At least, not people my age, not us millennials.
But the older generation still does, and that's probably where this becomes a real problem too.
Yeah, because So what happens here is that you have people in other countries, mostly India. They're essentially spoofing phone numbers. So they call you. It looks like it's a number that or it looks like it's a U.S. based number. In reality, it's coming from overseas.
Right.
You pick up. Most of the time it's some robocall telling you to call back. It says something like, "Oh, this is the IRS. You owe some money."
Uh-huh.
You call back. You get connected to X person in India who walks you through all the scare tactics to try to get you to give over money.
So how do you know if it's real or not? I mean, to a lot of people, this, which for those of us who, when we get these, first of all, I never answer a number that I don't recognize. And number two, I figure that if it's the IRS, they do it the old fashioned way. They send you the notice in the mail. So, but for people who don't think that way, how can you tell? I mean, is it just the accent of the person on the phone? That seems like in today's climate, it's probably not a good idea to use that as a standard of whether or not it's real. But how can you tell if it's real or not?
I mean, you're right on that first point. The IRS does not make initial contact through phone calls. Mm-hmm. That's just not their MO. They will use snail mail, and they'll use snail mail multiple times if you owe taxes in order to try to get in contact with you. Mm-hmm. So if you're getting a phone call from the IRS, it's not the IRS. They don't operate that way. They do it the old-fashioned way. If you do get a phone call and you pick up and it's just a robocall, it's not the IRS. If the IRS is calling you, they're calling you directly, and it's going to be an individual who, quite frankly, you can actually understand on the phone. That's kind of one of the big problems with these phone scams is that when you call these people back, you get the really heavy accent. Not to say that there aren't people who work for the IRS who might have accents, but you're going to call these people, and their accent is going to be not just really heavy, but sometimes really unintelligible to the point where you can only make out the words that they're using to try to scare you.
Right. Well, and again, it's not to say that there aren't some unintelligible people working for the IRS. That's entirely possible, but no, it seems that if it's one of those, if your spidey sense is tingling, listen to it. Don't and don't either don't continue speaking to them or tell them to call your accountant. But this is the thing. What happens? Let's say somebody does, they bite the hook and what's the next step when that happens? I mean, how do these people make their money on the other end of the line?
Okay, so this is the interesting part. So the article I recently wrote where, I just called one of these guys back and just kind of walked through the process. So what they do is that they'll give you a fake, they'll give you a fake badge number. They'll say, I'm from the Treasury Department, and here's my badge number. It's, it's obviously fake. Here's my name, which amazingly always sounds very Western, right, even though their accent is very counterproductive to that. So the guy called said his name was Matthew Benjamin. Clearly it wasn't, but
yes.
and sometimes when you call, they'll actually have fake recordings of call center noise in the background to make it sound like there's people talking in the background that sound very American, which is also not the case. It's
pretty smart though. That's how you got to hand it to them for that. It's pretty smart to do.
Yeah, they are very savvy, which is why they've been able to get away with it, and which is why the U.S. government is having such a hard time actually stopping them. Right. But yeah, so they'll walk you through that process. They'll know your name, and here's the real clincher: is that they'll know your name, they'll know your address, they'll know your phone number, they'll know a lot of details about you, either from information that they get from data breaches or because of that random person you friended on Facebook that you probably weren't supposed to. They get that information from a lot of different places. So they know you, and then when you call them back, they look you up to verify that you're a real person, which didn't work in my favor because I called the number that hadn't called me, and so the person was getting a little suspicious by the end of it.
Right.
But what they'll do is that they use the scare tactics eventually. They want you to give them money either through a credit card number, through wire transfer, or here's a ridiculous one. They want you to go out, buy a gift card, and give them the information back of it.
Well, I think that's fairly that doesn't seem out of the ordinary. I mean, the IRS needs gift cards too, and if they need a gift card to Best Buy, I think it's best you go out and get it for them. Don't want to piss them off.
Well, the IRS is the gift that keeps on giving. So.
Yes, they are. And people do fall for this every year, right?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, someone just last year lost around $18,000 in IRS phone scam, which is crazy. But it happens. People fall for this thing because, I mean, and mostly it's because this person also gave away, this person also lost money by giving essentially gift cards too.
Right.
But what happens is that these people fall for it because most people are scared of the IRS. That's just the reality of it. People are scared of the IRS. They're scared of what the IRS is capable of, which is taking money out of your bank account, asset seizure and whatnot. It has those abilities, and so people are legitimately afraid of the IRS, and so they kind of give themselves over to what is essentially, their better senses just give over to their fear, and so they just kind of let it go.
And the only thing more terrifying than an IRS scammer is the IRS itself, because they can walk in, they can shut your business down. They can, like you said, they can take your assets. They can reach into your bank account at any given moment and clean it out. They can put you in jail. They have ultimate power in this country. It's stunning. And that's what these scammers play on, is people's fear of the IRS, which is completely understandable. But when it comes to, the gift card thing, the bottom line is this, that the IRS, if they ever want money from you, they're going to snail mail it to you, right?
Yeah. If they want money from you, they're going to snail mail it to you for a bill, or they're just going to take it right from you. They're not going to ask you to go wire them money, through Western Union, or go buy a couple of Target gift cards. That's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm. And again, it's a lot of times it's older people that they get schnookered into this, but I guess there's some young'uns out there that do the same thing.
Yeah, some younger people fall for it too. And it's a prevalent problem. The phones, and particularly because the phone smoothing convinces people to pick up. You see that local number, you see that number looks familiar, and a lot of people pick up. And it's because you never, if it's a local number, it's a number that might be somebody important.
Right.
You pick up because you're not sure. Obviously, the best advice is just to let it go voicemail. If they don't leave a voicemail, it probably wasn't important.
Right. And you say there are, and we know about call blocking apps, but what are your recommendations for some good ones?
There's two really good ones. One is Truecaller. That's the one that I personally use, that I've used for a couple of years.
Right.
And then the other one is RoboKiller, which is a pretty good one. The only problem with RoboKiller is that it doesn't work on MVOs, which are MVNOs, which are mobile virtual network operators. So those are your lower tier cheap phone services that ride off of other networks.
Like burner phones?
RoboKiller doesn't work. Yeah. RoboKiller doesn't work on those lower tier.
So if you're a drug dealer out there with a burner phone that you don't want anybody to trace, we recommend you use some other call blocking app.
Yeah, we recommend Truecaller over RoboKiller if you're doing that.
Well, and RoboKiller, it's $4 a month, right? Or I guess 20.
Yeah, it's cheap. And Truecaller is free all the time, although it has a higher tier service that does cost money. But yeah, RoboKiller is not expensive, and it does have some interesting features in it, which actually it allows you to record the calls that you get, so that you can kind of put these people on blast later on and then make fun of them. But they do a lot of interesting stuff with the data that record as well.
Can you recommend a good call recording app? I've not been able to find one where you can actually record the phone call when it comes into you, or is there such a thing?
There are, but I could recommend a good one for you. Like if you're going to do that, you might as well get RoboKiller because that one does have call recording on it. But yeah, I mean there are apps aplenty, but
see now, and here's the other thing, because Doc, who used to host the show, actually he's on vacation, but he used to love when he would get a robocall, he would just keep them on the line and just keep pulling information out of them and wasting their time, which is probably the one thing that they hate more than anything, because as long as you're keeping them on the line, they're not scamming somebody else. So if you have the time and the wherewithal and the imagination, the most fun thing to do is just to keep them on the line for a long time and ask them a lot of inane questions and then pretend you can't understand them. But if you do end up falling for one of these scams, you need to a couple of things you need to do, right?
Yeah, if you end up falling for one of these scams, you should contact the IRS immediately. They have a number. They actually have information for if you get a call from an impersonator. They have information for that. You should also contact the FTC. They have a consumer reporting. They have a consumer reporting site for that as well.
Right.
If you've lost money, sorry to say, there's probably not much you're going to be able to do to get it back.
Right.
But you can at least report these numbers. However, as we've seen, thousands of people are reporting these numbers every year.
They just change them. I mean, they just roll them over. So they constantly change, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. So the best idea is to avoid the thing to begin with. Exactly. Are you on the social media? How can people find you?
Considering the nature of my work, I'm not personally on Twitter. But people can follow CompareTech at Twitter. We have it's at CompareTech. That's about it. We post a lot of different interesting stuff related to privacy, security.
CompareTech. All right. And exactly what is I have to ask you this because it's what is a cord cutting expert?
So services like Sling TV, DirecTV Now, YouTube TV, that kind of stuff. Yes, that's what it is. I have expertise in those areas. Like any person who's wanting to cut their traditional cable TV and move over to internet TV services, that's kind of one of my specialty areas.
They find you. So if they're ready to cut the cord, remember Sam Cook's name.
That's right.
There you go. Cool, Sam. Thanks for being a guest this morning. We appreciate it, and hopefully we've steered some people away from these scams, saved a couple of them, because quite frankly, the IRS hates the competition.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
All right, talk soon. Thanks. And that's the thing. Some of these calls, I get them all the time. They're from like the 615 area code, and a lot of which is where my phone is, because I got it in. I've had the same cell phone number now for 20 years.
How many?
20.
Oh, wow.
At least. I'm old. But a lot of them they'll be like a digit off your own number.
Or your own number.
Or it's like, how the hell am I calling myself right now?
Yeah.
But it is a lot of fun. If you've got some time and don't mind doing it, the most fun thing to do is just get on the line and keep asking them questions. Hey, tell me more about that one thing you just told me. Yeah, that. Oh, tell me about that. I love that part. Can I get more of that? And just sit there and then just mute your end.
I heard a guy doing this one time, talking to him, and then they started asking him questions, and he says, okay, he said, let me have your credit card number. And they're like, what? He says, well, it's $15 a minute. And they're like, I'm sorry.
He would say, he told them it was
exactly.
Oh, that's beautiful. I got into it with one of them on the phone, and I said, I did one of the, I know where you are. Oh, yeah, tell me where I am. Tell me where I am. You're going to come try to find me? You tell me where I am. I'm like, oh, dude, okay. So we just sat there and sparred back and forth for a while.
Haven't I heard you answer the phone, something Sheriff's Department?
Oh, that's a fun one, too. Sheriff's Department fraud line. May I help you?
Yeah, that's
usually
funny.
The first thing you hear after that is click. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they usually don't hang around when you throw that one at them. But and you can sign up for every don't call list known to man, and somehow they will still get through. I don't know how they do it, but they're the phone experts we should be talking to whenever we talk about how to do something.
Yeah, every once in a while I'll get a phone call and I'll say hello, and literally there's like 2 seconds of dead air. That's the auto callers, yes. The robo callers switching it off.
Yeah,
I'll just hang up. If they don't answer me in the first 2 seconds, I'm out.
Where's your sense of adventure?
No.
Where is your sense of adventure?
Brad, introduce us to your busty companion there.
They all know Lusty. Lusty, if you're just joining the program, Lusty Jillhole remains over here in the co-pilot's chair.
She's awful quiet today.
She hasn't taken that thing out of her mouth either.
The perfect intern.
Well, I'm not so sure it's a perfect intern, but she's awfully close. I wonder if you could get her in a cat cooler. I'm not sure you'd want to put her in a cat cooler, but if you could,
you can't get those in a cat cooler.
Those you keep them chilled some other way. Why is she wearing glasses?
I do not know the answer to this.
And
why is she sucking on a ring pop? I do not
know. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
You get that? You can get a whole bunch of ring pops in a cat cooler. I know that. So
I think they felt it was a little more appropriate than just
leaving the gaping maw.
That.
Yeah, it's most likely. Japan has a huge problem with these things, I think. Cat coolers are so rugged, it'll change everything. Everything. Everything around you will change. You go to catcoolers.com. You'll find all of the different colors that you can get. These things come all the way up at 88 quarts. That's a lot.
That's a big cooler.
That's a big.
Even the smaller coolers are big coolers, but that's because they're the cooler walls.
Yes,
are about 2 inches thick, 2.5 inches thick.
Yeah, and they will keep ice cold for literally days.
They will keep ice.
Yes, they will.
For days.
They'll keep it frosty. Ooh, and they even have an accessory category. When you go to catcoolers.com, there's a dry good basket that you can put inside the cooler. There's a cooler divider for the 55 and 85 quart, so you can keep the stuff separated. If you like all of your cold items segregated,
right?
If you're a segregationist and you don't want some of your chilled items touching other chilled items, it's understandable. You got to keep them separated.
Chilled items.
She keeps catching my attention over here. Obviously, it's a little chilly in here. You can find all of this at catcoolers.com. And if you ever, I highly doubt you ever, these rubber latches that they have on them, man, they're tough. They are tough latches. But if they ever do break, guess what? There's $0, which I think means that if you ever break one, you just order another one, they'll send it to you. That's what I'm guessing. How's that? How is that for service? Don't quote me on that, but that's certainly what it looks like. Go to catcoolers.com, and if you use promo code Brandon, you will receive 10% off said cooler and have yourself a big time because summer's coming. It's about to be 130 degrees, at least down here in Texas. Probably where you are, it's about to warm up sooner or later. The phone lines are lighting up. All right, I'm going to tell
Timmy has a quick question for you.
All right, quick question from Timmy the pilot. Timmy, you're on. Go.
Hey, how you doing? I seem to be missing my co-pilot. Has anybody seen my co-pilot?
It's no wonder you didn't get any damn work done when you were up in the sky. Yeah, she's sitting right here in.
How
did she?
We're still sitting at the airport waiting to take off. I can't go without my first officer. So,
I want to know how she grabs the stick with these lobster claw hands. That just seems difficult.
She has what hands?
The lobster claw hands.
Oh, that's her. Okay. Could you guys? Hey, could you guys drop her off at DFW for me? I'm coming down there today, so
but
I appreciate
she
that.
seems old enough to drive. I mean, I would think she could drive herself. I'm just saying.
Where's the bell? She's old enough to drive. Okay.
I've only got two hands here. Good God, man! All right.
Hey, one quick.
One
real quick note.
Mm-hmm.
They found out that they're pretty sure that there's a sensor on the Dash 8.
Oh, did they? So you were right the whole time.
Yeah.
It's a sensor.
Yes, I'm always right.
You're a pilot. You know what? If you're a pilot, I hope you're always right.
Okay, gotta go.
All right, bye. All right, Whiskey 6 is on the line as well. Whiskey 6 from Off Track with Whiskey 6.
Good morning.
So
how are you today?
I should have known you were behind this whole thing.
For those that are asking the question, she's wearing a Whiskey 6 shirt.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
The question is, does Brad think she's hot?
No, of course. It's funny because Peachy said something to me about it the other day. Of course, I didn't know who it was at the time. And I said, is she hot? She said, I'd do her.
Well, I'm not sure there's anyone you wouldn't. Anyway, okay. We'll skip right
no, it
over
was
that.
Peachy who said that. I'm very discerning with my tastes. I mean, she's hotter than Debbie What's-Her-Name Schultz.
Oh, everyone is. We figured since you guys have what I call the casting couch over there, you might need another. She's a lusty Jill Hole. She does have a Twitter page and a MeWe account, so she's going to be keeping up on social media. And interacting with everyone, and
I think that's important.
Keeping everyone up to date, yeah.
And I think
absolutely.
I think that it's fantastic that the Jackhole Nation has taken advantage of the advances in technology and the advances in social communication to such a lofty height. I think that's I think it's commendable, and I think that it's a true sign of American ingenuity and entrepreneurialism. So I congratulate you. Whiskey 6.
Well, we over here at Off Track, Peachy, Melissa, and Rusty, and myself, we appreciate everything you guys have done, and not just for us, but of course the radio world in itself, and look forward to building it, just getting bigger.
There's the bell. What is coming up on this weekend's edition of Off Track with Whiskey 6? Anything special?
We are going to talk to a guy. Yeah, you really admire his voice, Lep Recon.
Oh man, he has a fabulous voice. I love Leprechaun's voice. It is he's got an excellent voice. So I'll be listening.
Yeah.
That is
one of these days we're going to get you on here too. So
all right, it's a deal. I might if I wasn't always you don't need to get him on here. He's got as much.
No,
I mean, come on.
I know he's busy, that's for sure. He's got like 47
all
jobs.
kinds of things to do, yeah. So, all right, buddy. So it's Off Track with Whiskey 6. It is Sunday evenings, and it is at, tell me again because I get the
8 p.m. Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern,
8
7
p.m.
Central.
Eastern.
So 5 o'clock
MoJo
Pacific time.
50.
All right, buddy. All right, you have yourself a good
Yes,
one,
sir.
and I'll keep Lusty Jill Hole in line here. All right?
Keep her warm, Brad. You can tell she's cold.
Yeah, it's a little chilly in the studio. Thanks, buddy. Coming up in the third hour of the program this morning, we are going to do the first shot at Netflix and Chill, where we give you an idea for the movies that you can or movies and or programs you can be watching on Netflix this weekend. Plus,
this town is a sanctuary. Every man worth the name knows the value of being unreachable.
It'd be a pity not to recognize what's at stake. What's the move, Al?
You ever think, Bullock, of not going straight at a thing?
No.
that is going to be so cool. That is the trailer they just released it for Deadwood, the movie. And it may be a bit of a niche program, but if you've never seen Deadwood, it is the story of Deadwood, South Dakota. And Seth Bullock was a real guy. Some of the other characters in it are fictional or amalgamations of other real characters. But it is one of the most rough and tumble westerns that is. It's kind of like a modern day western. It's Shakespeare is what it is. The way that they wrote it, it was in Shakespearean speech, which sounds like it might be stuffy, but it's really a great show. If you don't mind the F word, they use the F word quite a bit. And the movie is going to come out in May, which, by the way, they thought they would never make this thing. And it's going to be epic. It's going to be on HBO. Coming up next, we got your headlines and Friday leftovers on this, your Daily MoJo.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. 2 American service members have died during a combat operation in Afghanistan. That word this morning from U.S. and NATO military officials. 4 American soldiers have been killed this year in Afghanistan. Syria does not like it, but Secretary of State Pompeo says it's the right thing to do. The U.S. will recognize Israeli sovereignty over the strategic Golan Heights.
That hard-fought real estate, that important place, is proper to be a sovereign part of the state of Israel.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu applauding President Trump's decision as a holiday miracle. Results of the special counsel's Russia probe expected soon. Speculation the report might be released as early as today. The House to vote next Tuesday on overriding the president's veto of a bill blocking his national emergency.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi says the vote will signal the intent of Congress even if it fails, as expected. Neither the House nor Senate is expected to muster the 2/3 needed to override the president's actions. Pelosi says, though, the vote could help critics in any legal proceeding. 16 states have joined an effort to block the president's actions.
Capitol Hill correspondent Molly Hines. Yet another privacy headache for Facebook and its users.
Facebook stored hundreds of millions of user passwords in plain text for years, allowing them to be readable by its employees. The social media giant revealed it had done so after a security researcher exposed the lapse. While Facebook says there's no evidence its workers abused access to the data, which was stored on internal company servers where no outsiders could access it, many computer security experts are urging users to play it safe and change their passwords. I'm Matt Small.
Following yesterday's surge, a pullback this morning on Wall Street. Dow futures down 138 points. S&P futures off 13. More on these stories at townhall.com.
It looks like you're losing.
I am.
Are you losing weight?
I am losing. I've lost about 10 pounds.
How are you doing it?
It's a funny name, but I've done it with Riduzone. RIDUzone.com, and the stuff works. It's, you get into all that, the molecule this and the found in that. All I can tell you is it makes you feel full, and it keeps your mind off of wanting to overeat.
And also boosts your metabolism, so you're burning more.
Yeah,
Try it today. It's going to work for you like it's worked for Brad and countless other people. Riduzone.com. RIDUzone.com.
You know what makes you feel really good about yourself? Doing something good for somebody else. If you'd like to do that today, go to jdrf.org. Join them in the fight against type 1 diabetes. jdrf.org. It's something good you can do for the world.
jdrf.org. While we run train on the progressive agenda, does she know she speaks straight? Didn't they get mad at Brett Kavanaugh over the whole run train thing?
They got mad at him for liking beer.
Brandon Morse, today at 1. MoJo 50.
Hey guys, Matt Locke, the Conservative Cartel. I'd like to take a minute and tell you about a new weight loss product that's instantly becoming part of the MoJo 50 family. It was launched by a Dallas area company who had taken the good stuff in olive oil and created a patented product that helps people control their appetite and lose weight. It's also a big help to keep the weight off. A 6-year study of former contestants from The Biggest Loser showed that when you lose weight, your body actually thinks something bad has happened, and it fights back by slowing your metabolism and boosting your appetite. One Riduzone client, Sarah, recently lost over 100 pounds. While she looks amazing, she has been struggling every day with cravings. Now that she's taking Riduzone, she says it's so much easier to control her appetite and she's not thinking about food all day. Riduzone contains a patented ingredient that has been shown to boost metabolism and reduce appetite while helping you burn fat. For a short time, we have a 30% off deal for our show. Just go to riduzone.com, RIDUZONE.com, and enter the code MATT, M-A-T-T. That's Riduzone, RIDUZONE.com.
If we weren't so bad.
To puppy rape.
I like to cuss.
Do I want to keep my penis?
Cat wants some black titty.
We wouldn't be so good. MoJo 50. The mothership has landed.
All right, if anybody would like to see how the Brandon Morse handles an intern, we just tweeted out a little video of that.
He laid her down on the couch.
Gently. Well, I wouldn't. I'm not even sure if I would call it gently.
I have
it's kind of rough.
Well, I know what the ladies like.
Apparently, you do.
I know what the ladies like.
I know what the ladies like.
You know those hands. As soon as I saw them, it reminded me of the time at the Tennessee State Fair. This has been a long time ago when they still had the freak show. And the freak show.
That's where Brad first experienced love.
It was weird because they had Lobster Boy was there. And Lobster Boy had lobster claw. His hands, he had, I don't know what you call it. It's some deformity of the hands.
Mm-hmm.
And he had this. And so he was sitting in the tent and you paid and you walked in and
right.
We may or may not have been indulging in adult party favors, drinks, however you want to put it. And so we walk into said freak show, and he's sitting there on a little platform, and Lobster Boy is eating lobster.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
With his lobster hands.
That's funny. That's
comedy.
well,
let me tell you, when you are in a state of euphoria,
yeah,
it is freaky as hell, is what it is. It's bizarre. It was. I still to this day remember walking in there and seeing that, and that was a sad story.
Your life was changed for the worse. Forever.
Yeah, you think a cat cooler will change your life? Wait until you see Lobster Boy eating lobster. That will change. That'll change your religion right there. It is a strange thing. So that's as soon as I saw her hands there.
Weirdly, all I can see is like Zoidberg. From Futurama.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, she's vaguely Asian, too. Lusty is vaguely Asian if you look at her.
Vaguely Asian. Just Asian enough.
You remember Russ at the other place?
Yes.
Russ. He's vaguely Asian.
Yeah. There's like a touch of Asian.
Yes, just a small touch of Asian. She must have a little Asian in her.
Dustin Carter said Brandon likes manhandling women.
Apparently so. I mean, I think it was fairly obvious in the video that we just showed everybody.
Why don't everyone needs to take notes instead of judging? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's some judging going on out there this morning. And
A little
I'm not
Judgy
sure.
McJudgersons this morning,
I'm not
huh?
sure I'm down with that.
Oh, yeah. So you suddenly put a blow-up doll in the seat, and everyone's like, "Oh, Brad Staggs is a weird guy." You know?
First of all, let's be clear on this. I did not put the Lusty in the seat.
Oh, you
that
didn't
was
do that?
not me doing that. You can
No?
you can thank Ron Guy behind the glass and
Rondolph!
and Raider for showing up and doing that.
Rondolph, why is it that every day I'm learning something new and weird about you?
Yeah, but when we start thinking that
Look, now he's got a ring popping. Oh, he's going for it. Oh, yep, he's doing it. Okay.
Wow.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with the ring pop. Our intern brought him in.
I wonder if that gets stuck in her mouth.
That's what she said.
So that is by the way, that's our own suspicious package that
I was gonna say y'all are.
It actually came in with yours. We thought it was yours, but it has Brad's name on it. Raider told us about that this morning.
Since you have experience opening these, why don't you?
You don't. This is one of those rippable.
Oh,
things.
is it?
Yeah, I don't even.
Here,
yeah.
you don't. You're afraid of the knife, aren't you? You don't want to touch the knife.
I'm just
That's
afraid.
what it is.
I'm afraid of what it might do.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's do a little early. We'll do a suspicious package Friday preview here, leading up to the Morse code where the main course happens.
So Brandon is opening.
Rip right into it, Brandon.
Yeah, I was going to say
there it is.
What do we have there?
Well, what we got here looks to be some
cut-resistant gloves.
Cut-resistant gloves. Okay.
Oh, sure. Now you send them to me.
No, they came on Monday.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yeah, we just didn't know it.
They were
How
stuck with your
serendipitous.
stuff. You know what? Actually, I'll use the crap out of those
Yeah,
things.
you need these here.
That's when you work for like a temp agency or whatever, and you go out on a job, they make you wear these things.
What are they, chainmail?
Well, the ones that I've seen before, literally, yeah, they are chainmail.
Yeah.
This one, this is a great idea.
That's probably like hard nylon or something like that.
I'll be.
It's gonna be weird not seeing.
Damn, this belt is sticky as hell. Is Patrick been in here
probably dropped some Coke on it or something.
I've got to get this thing fixed.
I had to swap out the mute button for mic number 3 because it was sticky.
Oh, did you fix that? Oh, you did.
Patrick comes in here and drips stuff everywhere.
I swear, he is like the messiest guy.
I don't know what it is, but everything he touches ends up sticky. We spent
You're
a
just
half
keeping
hour
your hand
in
on
here.
the bell just in case something else.
We spent a half hour in here cleaning last week, just the sticky crap off of everything. So I don't know what he does.
He's like a toddler. Like you have to wipe his hands constantly with a wet nap.
He's a toddler that can cook. That's the only reason. It's the only reason.
He is a more useful toddler.
Yes.
What he is.
So far, we haven't had to change his diaper, but I'm sure that's.
The day's still young.
It's true. In the meantime, make sure you go to the Rich Solution. By the way, tomorrow, I believe at 2:00 Central, 3:00 Eastern, daylight time. You will again find the Rich Solution and Gwen Rich on Facebook. Doing the update, the latest update in the Doc Thompson Healthy Lifestyle Challenge. If you're taking part, if you hadn't signed up yet and you still want to take part, if you are finally sick of if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, I swear to you, I have more energy than I did starting after I've been on the supplements now for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
I swear to you, I have more energy.
Yeah,
I really do, and I feel I have not had to take a Goodies headache powder in a while. So I don't know. It seems to me it's working. I'm always skeptical.
A Goodies headache powder.
Have you never? Let me tell you, my friend. If you ever have a headache, a Goodies headache powder. It's powdered aspirin, acetaminophen, and caffeine. They taste like crap. I mean, they are horrible. They will make you want to gag. The secret is take a little water, put it in your mouth, or your favorite. Don't do it with like Diet Coke or any fizzy drink because it'll just bubble up. You'll have a mouthful.
That's what she said.
You put some water in your mouth, then pour the packet in your mouth and swallow. Also, what she said. They will. Your headache will be gone in 10 minutes.
Really?
Yes, they are amazing, and it's just because it's ground up, but it tastes a lot like ground up aspirin. And it's nasty.
If there's one thing I love, it's the taste of ground up aspirin.
Right? But these supplements I've been taking from the Rich Solution, I swear they work. I really do. And it's hard to A/B it. I can't like one day take them and the next day not and go, I felt better yesterday, whatever. But it's working for me. And if you would like to take part in the Doc Thompson Healthy Lifestyle Challenge, rule number 1, do not jog on railroad tracks. Number 2, do something good for yourself. And that's what the Facebook group is all about, is just taking little steps. You don't have to change your entire lifestyle overnight. It's about taking little steps that will hopefully become habits in the long run. But you can get it all started at therichsolution.com. Let's do this thing.
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's Brad Staggs.
No, it's not me. It's the Brandon Morse.
That is.
By the
me.
way, welcome in.
Thank you very much.
Still haven't gotten the new alarm clock. I see. It's all right.
Yeah,
Whatever.
well, it's it's just I wonder whenever I want to.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
those gloves look very nice on you.
Thank you. That's all I'm wearing now.
Yeah, that's it. Like that's all he's going to wear from here on out. Is just those gloves. I have 5 headlines here for you. One of them is fake.
It's untrue. Make it rhyme.
I have 5 headlines here for you. One of them is untrue.
That sounds so stupid. Don't do that.
That's the punishment you get for making me rhyme. Like some little leprechaun dwarf guy. Here we go. Don't cheat, by the way, please. Man charged in robbery decided to try something today, so I robbed a bank.
All right.
Yeah. Man charged in robbery. He said, I decided to try something new today, so I robbed a bank. And,
well, it's a little step he could take.
You know what? Leading his best life. Hashtag leading his best life.
Why not? Yeah, this guy doesn't think very far past the next minute or two.
No, he does not. No, he does not. A 19-year-old man arrested in connection with the Friday robbery of Community First Credit Union on West Spencer Street told police he decided to try something new today, so I robbed a bank, according to a criminal complaint filed on Monday. Jing Jiayang of Appleton was charged Monday in Outagamie. Shame on you.
Outagamie.
County court with robbery of a financial institution with a dangerous weapon, according to the criminal complaint. Outagamie County Court Commissioner Brian Figge ordered him held on a $250,000 cash bond. His next court date is set for March 28th. I actually
did he rob him at gunpoint?
Apparently, yeah, he robbed him with a dangerous weapon of some kind. But you know,
why would you rob them with the other end of the gun?
Maybe he's
good point.
Yeah, see,
it could have been a knife. Exactly. That's what I was asking.
Yeah,
right. Still a dangerous weapon.
He gets 2 experiences in one, maybe even 3. Because he experienced robbery.
Right.
He experienced doing a robbery. Now he's experiencing going to prison.
Yes.
And now he's also going to experience sex with a man. That's going to be 3 things.
Depends on who his cellmate is.
He can just check off the list.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He wasn't thinking past the next minute or 2.
No. Remember, you just have to lay there and take it in prison.
That's right. Ghost rearranging 72-year-old man's shed turns out to be orderly mouse. Yeah, all those cartoons are in children's movies of mice and they're like living their lives and stuff. Those are real. That's actually
like ferrets.
Stuart S. Mouse. Remember him?
Oh
yeah. What 72-year-old Stephen McKeers originally thought was a poltergeist rearranging his garden shed late at night turned out to be a hardworking mouse.
It's like moving the rakes and the shovels?
I guess so. Just rearranging things.
If a mouse is moving your shovels and rakes, you got a big problem.
Because the mouse is big. McKeers of Severn Beach in England said he started noticing something was wrong and when a box began filling with plastic clips, nuts, bolts, screws, and without explanation. The heaviest thing was the plastic attachment at the end of the hose pipe and the chain of an electric drill, McKeers told SWNS.
The what of an electric drill?
The chain of an electric drill. Yeah.
What if they mean chuck?
I think maybe.
Must mean, what the hell's a chain on an electric drill?
It's the British.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're wonder we kicked their ass in the world.
Yeah. I didn't know what it was at first. The kids were saying it was a ghost. He asked a neighbor to borrow a trail camera and soon discovered the culprit was actually a hardworking mouse. Veterinarian Lori Hess told InsideEdition.com that behavior is actually quite normal.
For him or the mouse?
Yes.
Right.
Let's see here. First primate born using the frozen testicle technique.
So it's married is what you're saying?
Yep. Hey-o!
Thank you. Be here all week.
Doctors at Oregon National Primate Research Center performed a routine ultrasound on a rhesus macaque. Everything looked normal.
I need more hands for bells this morning.
I'm telling you, dude. You're like a...
Now somebody's going to say, you're using too many bells. Right? Not enough bells.
What was that, Brandon? What kind of primate was it?
It was a macaque.
Macaque?
Yeah, it's a macaque.
Why are you saying that with an accent?
Why can't I? I can't seem to not.
Right?
Rhesus macaque.
Rhesus macaque.
Macaque. Its developing spine trailing away like a zipper. They said. However, this baby was anything but common. The infant was soon to be the first primate born from a procedure using cryopreserved testicular tissue taken from a prepubescent monkey. Researchers had grafted the tissue under its host skin to mature, and then, using in vitro fertilization, had created the baby monkey, which was dubbed Grady after her graft-derived origins.
Grady?
Yep. Using the frozen testicle technique.
Right. Hi, I'm Grady the frozen testicle monkey. Wow. All right.
Parents plan unsafe chickenpox party. One parent swamped with requests.
That's a lot of alliteration right there.
Swamped with requests to share the disease.
Chickenpox?
Yep.
How old is the kid?
Let's see. A group of Boulder, Colorado parents are sharing with each other the very best way to assure the children contract chickenpox. In case you're wondering, tenting is best.
What? Tenting?
Tenting.
Like, tent.
Tent. Like, yeah, tenting.
Like you put a tent over your house to do, like, for termites?
I guess they just mean, like,
Put
sharing
them in the backyard in a tent.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Thought chickenpox parties were old-fashioned ways to that parents expose children to chickenpox to build up their immunity to the disease that is practiced only before 1995 when the blessed varicella zoster vaccine was introduced. Nope. NBC News affiliate 9 News reports that chickenpox play dates are alive and well.
It's a good idea, actually.
I started to say, if you want your child to have it early in life,
Yeah,
get
you
it over
should.
with,
Yes.
build the immunity.
Yes.
Yeah, I seem to remember that actually being a thing.
Do not wait. How old were you when you had it, or have you had it, Brandon?
I believe I was 4 or 3 or 4, and it was one of the most miserable experiences of my life, according to my parents.
Mm-hmm. I had it when I was 18, and it sucked butt.
Yeah. Apparently, like, if you were, like, my mom and dad could probably tell you a lot about it, like how I reacted and stuff like that, because apparently I was miserable. I refused to be, like, not held at any point in time. I was constantly itchy.
You're still that way today.
It is actually, yeah, that's true.
So much is explained.
Brad has to hold me quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. It's not easy.
Let's see. So you have moms that do chickenpox parties and moms that do porn for their kids.
Yep.
Yep.
And
which one do I want to be a part of?
I'd take either one of them over the TV dinners my mom made. So,
this is interesting. Rosie O'Donnell has chosen to read the audiobook of the Mueller report.
That's the dumbest ass thing I've ever heard of in my life.
The comedian Rosie O'Donnell will narrate the audiobook of Robert Mueller's
wait, the what?
The audiobook.
No. The what would you say before her name?
Comedian.
Yeah, that's.
I didn't write that. I didn't write. Has she done comedy at all?
Don't you have to be funny if you're going to be a comedian?
Well, they call Amy Schumer a comedian. She's doing a lot of that recently, apparently.
Yeah, I know.
She's pregnant.
I know. Yeah.
The special counsel's office confirmed on Saturday. Explaining the selection, O'Donnell, a spokesman for Mueller, said Donald Trump has complained about how much the report has cost. So Rosie basically agreed to do it for free.
Good. At least we're not paying her.
Exactly.
You can buy the report on Amazon.
Yeah.
And there's rumors that it might be out today. Of course, that same rumor was out a month ago and 2 months ago and last week and the day before that. So we'll see.
But apparently, if you want it read to you, like on the way to work or something like that, you can have the soft, dulcet tones of Rosie O'Donnell reading you the Mueller report.
Ugh. Or you could take thumbtacks and cram them underneath your fingernails.
I was going to say, you could shoot yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that is also a valid option.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my 5 headlines.
All right.
Let's go ahead and go through them again. Man wanted to experience something new, so he robbed a bank. Okay? There is a poltergeist in a man's garage, but wait, no, it's a mouse. The frozen testicle technique is being used to create a macaque.
I don't even know which bell that.
I'm telling you, the whole difference in that sentence is the A in front of the word.
I thought that the yeah, okay, and that's what's next.
Chicken pox party, and Rosie O'Donnell to narrate the Mueller report.
I have my decision.
Those are hard.
What is your decision? But first, we have some. We got to pay the bills around here, bro.
I've been not only sipping on the APR coffee, well, that too. The APR coffee. This is the Bananas Foster, and not only that, but the mint coffee bark, and it's good.
You know, Brad, we figured out that Matlock does not like the strong brew of any of these coffees.
Wah.
Exactly.
Why?
He did. He said that it made Doc's Uranus hurts really bad, and he does not like the Bananas Foster. I thought he did, but he said, I figured it out. I figured out what's going on. You know that little light on the front of the coffee maker that says strong brew? Yeah, that's what's doing it. Okay.
Well, then he can get his happy ass in here at 5:30 in the morning and make a pot for himself. I think it tastes. I mean, if you're going to have coffee, why not have it be the strong brew? It just soaks it. It just soaks it.
What are the coffee drops you're having this morning?
Mint coffee bark. I just had a little taste.
Yeah, mint coffee
bark. It's really kind of good too. You can find it all at AmericanPrideRoasters.com. And quite honestly, I mean the thing about the flavors of the APR coffee is that they're subtle. And I'm surprised. I mean, I don't understand why. What is it about the strong brew?
Except for that very first batch of Ron's sexual chocolate. The raspberry knocked you on your ass.
It's gone, isn't it? Is it all gone?
I think we drank it all. But we found out that the 60% was the perfect fit.
Okay. We don't have any of that left, damn it. Sadly. Go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com and get you some today.
Get you some sip.
Get you some today. Okay. So,
all right, I've said a little prayer. And I pray to God that the Rosie O'Donnell story is the fake one.
I'm kind of with you on that, although I'm going with the mouse story in the
mouse
shed.
story?
I just don't know that a mouse could be, I mean, a mouse that can do that. No, not you. I don't think the mouse could have the muscles to lift all that stuff. So that's what I'm going with, the mouse story. So
your mouse, your Rosie. What? Oh, okay.
What? Sorry. I just stopped the drummer mid.
I was going to say Larky effing Farkin said monkey frozen testicles is the fake story. B from the SAV said Rosie's story is fake. Mojo Jedi, Rosie story. And now you can hit it.
Here it comes.
Ron wins again.
Damn it.
Everything that guy just says bullshit.
Bullshit is everywhere.
I'm kind of happy about that. I'm happy that, in fact, boy, there was a lot going on just then, wasn't there? Woo! I'm happy that, although I'm surprised that Rosie isn't reading it, because I would think that she would enjoy the hell out of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's actually why I chose it, because I was like, I could see her actually doing that and just having the greatest time.
I can't see her being allowed to do that.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
Her little snarky comments all the way through it. I know she can't comment when reading an audiobook. Hell, I've got several of them out there myself. But the bottom line is Rosie O'Donnell reading Mueller's report is got to be the most boring stuff ever.
It'd be like Joy Behar reading it. And there would be the venom behind every word.
Oh, yeah.
Dripping from every phrase.
You would hear the snarkiness anytime she had to utter the words President Trump.
Yeah, but I think that's why so many people. She's got a lot of fans.
That would actually probably sell it, though. Believe it or not, if you really think about it. Because
there is that.
Because people would want to read. Because the only people who really want to read the Mueller report are the people who are trying, desperately want something juicy in there.
Exactly.
That they can point to, and you know that the Democrats are going to go through it and nitpick little stuff, and be like, "Oh yeah, well, what about this?" And they're going to make a huge deal out of nothing.
Well, I heard he turns that into the DOJ, and they can redact it before they put it out.
Oh.
Well, that'll make it exciting, won't it?
Oh, no.
Because as soon as, they could actually go in there and redact really stupid things. but then because it's all blacked out, you'll think, oh, there's something good.
I would do strategic redacting.
I know for a fact.
I would get to the juicy part and then redact the rest of it.
It's it's like going into like we've talked about this before. Is you take some clip of audio and just randomly put beeps in it. Mm-hmm. Because your brain automatically, he said a dirty word when you could be, beeping.
Oh, like Jimmy
chocolate.
Kimmel does with the unnecessary censorship.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
So, you do the same thing with the report and redact parts that are absolutely meaningless. And people,
you know for a fact, that's exactly what's going to happen. The left is going to have some kind of, they're going to come across the redacted section and be like, well, what is this supposed to be?
Yes.
What would be the perfect Trump tweet?
What?
A video of him reading mean tweets about himself.
Oh God, it would go
be
on
hilarious.
forever.
Ooh, that would be very good, wouldn't it? That would be very smart.
They would have to.
He wouldn't be able to help from commenting.
Yeah, I know. That would be hysterical.
That's a good idea. I wonder why he hasn't done that yet.
He's a busy man. He's too busy using Twitter to attack John McCain.
Coming up in a half an hour, we will do the first ever Netflix and Chill feature where we all just kind of sit around and give you some ideas, some suggestions for things to do this weekend.
I'm very frightened.
Why?
Don't be scared. Just relax. Just relax and let it happen, Brandon.
You're just gonna. It only hurts for a second. It only hurts. You're gonna feel a little.
That's right.
You'll like it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Just don't tighten up, brother.
Right. Wow. It took a twist there real
Ron
fast.
gets dark.
Whew. Coming up next, of course, it is your Friday Leftovers, brought to you by TRAGuns.com. So we'll get into that next. And, we've already had Lusty Jill Hole, the intern, and Cut-Proof Gloves. So who knows what's next on your Daily Mojo.
Lusty the Magic Dough.
A free exchange of ideas. MoJo 50.
Representative Ilhan Omar has been the focus of many lately because of her anti-Semitic statements pertaining to Israel. But is there someone else that we should be focusing on as well for her seemingly anti-Israel stance? I believe so, and here's why. Representative Rashida Tlaib, who refers to herself as a Palestinian American, indicated before the election that she's someone who supports a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and endorsed continuing U.S. aid to Israel. Following her win in Congress, Tlaib made a radical shift. She now endorses a one-state solution and opposes aid to Israel. She also supports a college who wants to boycott Israel. Recently, left-leaning faculty and some students at Pitzer College in California decided that they wanted to boycott Israel by suspending its study abroad program with Israel's University of Haifa. The, quote, academic boycott of Israel was wholeheartedly supported by Tlaib, and she even posed for a photo of herself holding a binder with the words #suspend Pitzer Haifa. In addition, Tlaib can be seen posing in a photo with the far-left professor who led the boycott against Israel. He wrote, quote, honor to discuss #suspend Pitzer Haifa with a true social justice hero, the great Rashida Tlaib. Although the school voted to boycott, Melvin Oliver, president of Pitzer College, overruled Tlaib and others' vote. Progressives know that if they can change the minds of children and young adults, they can change the mindset of America to be one that goes from pro-Israel to anti-Israel. Tlaib and other far-left activists who want America's pro-Israel stance to change may have lost this round, but you can bet that they will continue the fight another day. And that's today's Reality Check with Susan Knowles.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
The Daily Mojo.
Okay,
we're making improvements.
Yes, we're redecorating as we speak. Raider is in here, and we've our intern is actually standing in the back of the room observing. So She would take notes if she could hold a pencil.
For sure.
I was dancing with her and I got something in my eye.
I bet you did.
It was the feelings that you were beginning to
Yes, so
beginning to feel for our intern.
There'll be a special. Actually, there's already the caption contest
I
is
got
already up
poked
on.
in the eye.
You'll put your eye. When I
You'll
first saw
put your eye
the picture of
my
her,
wonky eye out.
yeah. Well, at least she has less of a shot of hitting that eye than the other one. Just saying, it's up on Facebook right now, so that you can add your own caption. I'm over on the TRA Guns website.
I do love the TRA Guns website. It's so good.
Is it still there, or did they sell it? I think they sold it. Damn it.
Did they sell it?
Yeah, it looks like it's gone. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. It's a closeout. So when you go to traguns.com, first thing, again, this is like going to Target. I always used to go to Target and go, ironically, go in the back of the store.
Mm-hmm.
And the clearance, right on the back of every aisle, the clearance section. And I mean, you could get incredible deals.
Yeah.
On some stuff that was actually useful. Mostly it was just junk. But that was my first go-to whenever I walked into Target.
Yeah.
So when you go to TRA Guns, I did not notice this before now. They have a clearance button. So when you go to traguns.com, click on clearance, and I'm telling you, you will find some incredible deals.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, really good deals. They just sold, and I looked at this one earlier, an American Tactical. It's a Firefly. It's a 22 long rifle pistol with a threaded barrel. It was $212.
Ooh.
Gone. It is gone.
That Sig Sauer P320 is a nice looking gun, and I would like to have it.
They are, I mean, it looks like it's all, somebody took my advice, because it looks like a lot of the stuff that was on clearance, gone.
Gone. They go fast.
Yeah, because you're finding some incredible deals back there.
There's a Walther on, oh my God, it's $385.
In the clearance?
Yes, I might buy it.
Is there one there?
The Walther Arms CCP?
Yeah. Is it available?
Oh, it's available for $380.
There you go.
$385. Oh my God.
If you're looking for a gun, and whether it's for concealed carry or you just want to add to your collection, Tar River Arms is the most convenient gun store on earth. They're sending us the AR-15, which will go up on the back wall, and they're also getting ready to open the brick and mortar store.
Yeah, in North Carolina.
And that's not how you say it. It's North Carolina.
North Carolina?
North Carolina.
I call it NOCO.
That's kind of cheating.
Just to piss off people from North Carolina.
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
You have to run it all together. That's how you can tell if you're really
North Carolina.
from there. North Carolina.
My mom lives in North Carolina.
Wow. On television right now, it says not what I thought it said.
Oh, wow.
Yes. It looked like it said the Anal Clooney Award. It's Amal, I think.
It's Amal.
It's amazing how much M's look like N's on television.
I had to do a double take myself there for a second.
So anyway, traguns.com is where you want to go if you are looking for a gun. A couple of quick tweets there before we move things
I just
along.
went ahead and sent a I'm sorry for the pick message to my wife, so we're good, I think.
You'll get some special love tonight.
Lori F&D says, no, don't put El Jill Hole in the corner.
Nobody puts El Jill Hole in the corner. She put her, just
Red
saying.
Gate Trek said, prank for TRA Guns on April Fool's Day, 360-degree display of real Ron Phillips dancing with Lusty.
It's not a bad idea.
We can charge $20, same as downtown.
Yep.
And let's see here. DMXDM said, and it was at that moment Brandon ran out of the building screaming. No, I wouldn't run out of the building screaming. What I would end up doing is crying a lot in the corner, pretty much.
That happened. Well, that's what we call a Wednesday around here, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
new.
Let's try this thing, shall we? Let's do it. Yeah, that'd be you.
I forget what I'm doing.
Rondolph.
Why? You see.
Oh, here we go.
There
You ready?
go. Yep. All set.
And now, Doc Thompson presents the Friday Leftovers.
Yay!
These are the great stories we did not get to earlier in the week, so we'll get to them right now. Police in Lathrop, California say Alicia Johnson placed several items into a shopping cart and a handbasket at a Target store there on Saturday afternoon. Smart shopper.
Yeah, okay.
She also grabbed a six-pack of Stella Artois.
Artois?
And headed for the dressing room.
Oh.
She then stayed in the dressing room for more than an hour drinking the 6 beers, then left the store without paying for anything in her cart. Police say she had over $200 worth of stolen items in her possession when she was stopped. She was held by Target's loss prevention officers and was later taken to the San Joaquin County Jail, where she was charged for shoplifting and on 3 other warrants. The Sacramento Bee reported those warrants were for petty theft, battery, and resisting and obstructing or delaying a peace officer.
You know, I'm not necessarily gonna. I mean, I admire her gumption.
She does. She has gumption. When you can take all of that and a 6-pack of Stella Artois into the dressing room and sit down. And I mean, why else do they have a chair in there?
Exactly. Exactly.
They don't want you to sit down and enjoy yourself some beer. Don't put a comfy chair in the corner of the dressing room.
And who doesn't go to a retail location just to sit down, drink a beer, and plot your exit strategy? That's
what I'm thinking.
If every time if I had a Buffalo nickel,
right,
for every time,
you'd be retired by now.
I would be retired.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'd say she's smart just for shopping at Target in the first place. In Minneapolis, police were called to the Domino's Pizza on Grand Avenue just before 9 p.m. Thursday on a report of a customer pointing a handgun at the staff. That's not good.
No.
When police arrived, they were told that the Robinsons, who had already left, were upset that their wings hadn't been delivered with their pizza to their home on Dayton Avenue.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It's all coming into place now.
An argument then ensued. It's fairly easy to find the Robinsons' home since they had just delivered pizza there. The police drove to the address, and while waiting for a supervisor to arrive on the scene, Holly Robinson came out of the home and began explaining to the officers what went wrong.
And the officer said, "Oh, yeah, we get that.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, exactly.
Move along, sir." Yeah.
She didn't want to wait for another order because they'd already waited for an hour. So she decided to go to the Domino's because it would be faster. See, that was actually a police officer talking about what Holly had said, so probably was the inappropriate voice. But the two, Holly and her mother, had
don't know. Maybe he was a very effeminate officer.
That's absolutely. He could have been a part of Monty Python's troupe.
Maybe.
There's no judgment.
Yeah.
The two, Holly and her mother, demanded a refund. They never got their brings or a refund. The daughter told the officers the manager had an attitude.
Oh.
So her mother brought the gun because she feared a physical confrontation.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Again, why else do you have a gun?
Brad, have you ever looked forward to wings all day? And then you don't get your wings.
Right.
And then when you try to figure out why you don't have your wings, a manager is giving you the business.
Right.
Have you
that
ever
snarky little attitude they always have behind the counter?
Yeah. At that point in time, I really do feel that any kind of gunshots that might ring out past that point are completely legitimate.
I can't argue with you there. And she did say
here in the state of Texas, it is legal to shoot a pizza boy if they fail to deliver your pizza. It has to be a large, mind you.
Is there a restriction on the size?
Okay, yeah, it's a size restriction.
So if it was a medium, you can't shoot them.
Right, because if you're ordering a medium, then chances are you weren't that hungry to begin with.
That's a good point.
Or, with a large, it indicates that you're either very hungry or you have a family to feed. So if a pizza boy is an hour and a half late, you can legally shoot him.
See, these are the little-known laws that I think we need to bring out to the light of day a little more often.
Absolutely.
Well, apparently the mother took the gun out and held it at her hip, but she never pointed it, the daughter said.
Oh, well, then where's her fault?
I knew the gun was loaded, but I didn't think it would kill. And then something, and the blood began to spill. Be Glenn Fry. A loaded 9mm handgun was found in Holly Robinson's car. She remained in jail as of Friday afternoon. I mean,
I cannot believe that in this nation today you can't take your gun out because somebody screwed up your wing order.
If this is the way this country is headed,
it is not. It is going downhill, Brad.
I'm going straight to New Zealand, where it's where everything is pretty and you don't have to worry about a damn thing.
And there's tons of guns there, by the way.
Bazillions of them.
The government only confiscated 37.
Some of those were actually voluntarily turned in too.
Yeah.
It's frightening. In Des Moines, Iowa.
Des Moines.
A 29-year-old Central Iowa man ran through a neighborhood bare-skinned and barking like a dog.
So he was...
I should probably back up and tell you a little backstory on this.
Let Brad explain this story to you because...
Otherwise, it just sounds crazy. Police arrested Diamond Dolo on Friday morning. He has been charged with 2 counts of first-degree theft and 2 counts of assault on an officer causing injury. You like his name, Diamond Dolo?
It's the more it sounds like a frat boy who got a little drunk,
or a Chippendale stripper.
That too.
Diamond.
That is a very porn name.
Welcome to the stage, Diamond Dolo. Yeah, and then it just starts. Des Moines Police Sergeant Paul Parazik said officers were sent just after 7:30 in the morning to an apartment complex for a welfare check on that'd be a welfare check, checking up on somebody.
Yeah.
On a naked man on the roof who was reportedly barking like a dog. Before the officers arrived at the scene, Dolo came down from said roof. He put on some clothes that he had piled up neatly and stole a vehicle from the apartment complex. It's according to the police. Authorities said that Dolo then drove the stolen car almost 3 miles to his apartment, which was on Twana Drive. Twana?
Twana get naked?
Twice on Sundays.
Twana get naked and go on the roof, bark like a dog?
Well, that's when he stripped naked and continued to bark.
Yeah.
He gets in the car. He drives from the neighboring apartment complex 3 miles away back to his own and jumps back out, takes the clothes. Apparently, he didn't want to drive naked.
Oh, well, who does?
I mean, that would just make the story ludicrous.
Yeah.
The leather sticks to your ass.
It really does.
Really, yeah,
and even if it's vinyl, I mean,
very uncomfortable.
But the one thing is though that it's easier to clean than cloth. I will say that. You get the stains on the cloth; they're just in there, at least on the vinyl or the leather. That's why Southwest went to leather seats.
Really?
Yeah. So
well, that makes sense.
See,
are they actually leather or are they pleather?
It's Southwest. Are you kidding? An officer caught up and tried to take Dolo down, deploying a stun gun at least twice, but it apparently had no effect. Authorities said Dolo assaulted officers and attempted to steal a police cruiser, but failed. He then ran through the neighborhood, leading officers on a foot chase. So remember, he was on the apartment roof, comes down, gets in a car, runs back to, he's jumping out, runs a foot chase. Neighbor Brandy Schollerman heard the barking noises and said, it was like, I'm pretty sure I put the dog away. So then I look out and there's this naked guy just running through our backyard. Kids, hide your eyes. Witnesses said Dolo ran past a group of children waiting for the school bus near Merced and 51st Streets. Mommy, what's that? He then jumped a fence and was quickly apprehended by the police.
Naked and all?
Naked and all. It took about 5 officers to take Dolo into custody. He was finally apprehended about a half hour after the initial call came in. So that's a lot.
That's a long time for a naked man to be barking around
really
a neighborhood.
Is.
Where was this again?
It was in Des Moines, the epicenter of crazy, if you know what I'm saying.
I thought that would be Florida.
Well, they've, it moves around.
The crazy does not station itself in one location.
We've discovered that there's not just crazy in Florida. Apparently, it's catching.
Oh, it's spreading throughout the nation.
Yeah.
Soon, it's just going to be like 28 days later.
It's kind of frightening. 2 senior police officers suffered minor injuries during the ordeal. They were taken to a nearby hospital for treatment. One of them was heard to say, "What a way to start your day." Dolo was taken to a hospital for treatment of minor injuries. He told police he had used drugs prior to the incident.
No way.
See, now obviously this is a fake story. So
yeah,
come on, drugs were involved in this.
No one uses drugs nowadays. Come on,
pro criminal tip number 137: if you are going to lead officers on a high-speed chase in a stolen car, don't take them right back to your apartment. some of these things, I mean, we do this as a public service so that if you ever decide to pull one of these stunts, at least you'll do it correctly.
Yeah, exactly. We are here for you.
Yeah, we think we do this for ourselves.
No, this is the Friday Leftovers is really what it is just an educational segment for you to understand how to and not do life.
I think that's a great time to gather the kids around the radio.
Exactly.
And teach them some important life lessons. Like this one from Port Huron, Michigan. So you see, it really isn't crazy just in Florida. It's everywhere. A man was... Hell, let me start at the beginning on this one, too, because otherwise it'll just sound nuts. A U.S. Customs and Border Protection inspected a Canadian vehicle at the bridge on Wednesday, driven by a Canadian citizen, Constantine Zathalis. 2 others were also in the vehicle. So remember, this is the U.S. Border and Customs Protection.
Could you have a worse name than Zathalis?
I mean, I guess it really depends on... What is it with porn names, right? You had Diamond Dolo. Now we've got Zathalis.
I think you can actually cure Zathalis with some penicillin. After they were unable to provide any proof of citizenship, the vehicle was searched. Remember, they're at a customs...
Did they find Zathalis?
Well, they found about 10 pounds of meth.
Stupid jokes.
In tablet form.
Ron is like 5, man. I
know. You know what it is? It's his Dancing with Lusty that
he's just jazzed, man.
No, dude, it's Friday.
He's out there like last year's Easter egg.
He's gonna be laying down in bed tonight, like with sweet visions filling his head of romantic times he has, just remembering the dance always.
His wife is in big trouble this evening. I'm not saying his eyes are going to be closed the whole time. I'm just saying. Zathalis told police he had $2,000 gambling debt, and in exchange for waiving said debt, he agreed to transport something to Calgary.
Oh.
You see, he was coming from Montreal to Calgary when he was busted. He said he'd also asked to drive. He was also asked to drive 2 others from Toronto to Calgary. So he had a hell of a road trip in front of him. From Montreal to Toronto to Calgary. Zathalis made the pickups in Toronto. The group then used navigation to get to Calgary, according to the complaint. The navigation system guided them to the Blue Water Bridge, a shorter route than maybe perhaps he should have taken to avoid said Customs and Border Patrol checkpoint. Officers believe there's probable cause because Zathalis did knowingly and unlawfully possess with the intent to distribute approximately, 10 pounds of meth in tablet form. Wow. He will face charges. You see, he could have just driven up around the Great Lake and not had to go through said bridge.
Yeah.
So, again,
not very smart.
No, and again, I think it's appropriate that we hand him pro-criminal tip number 5. When transporting illegal goods between 2 locations, always tell GPS to avoid known checkpoints.
Yes.
Or the U.S.
Or the United States in general. It doesn't
hurt. Yeah, definitely.
It's just an added safeguard that may help you get to your destination a little faster and without a body cavity search.
Exactly. But now he's going to be, now Zathalis is going to be hanging out with home dude who decided he was going to try, he was going to try, bank robberies and stuff like that.
Exactly. Just something a little different today.
Yeah.
Honey, I'm feeling like something a little different.
Yeah.
Just saying. Continuing in the heartland in Johnson County, Indiana. Late Friday night, Wagers... the man's name is Wagers, by the way, was arrested on suspicion of stealing a car in Greenwood. Deputies said Wagers, don't know why the man doesn't have a first name, but he doesn't, led them on a chase and fought with officers when they caught up to him. They said they found a syringe and pain pills.
A syringe and pain pills?
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, if you don't want to just swallow them, you
can just
put them in the
inject
syringe.
Right.
They found them on him when they arrested him. Monday morning, Wagers was out of jail, and police responded to a call in the same area about a suspicious man in a front yard. Responding officers recognized Wagers as he ran away from them again. I'm in the wind. Don't try to catch me, copper. You're never going to take me alive. During the foot chase that ensued, they said Wagers jumped a fence before sitting down in a lawn chair. Police said they found him with a bag of methamphetamines.
I guess he wagered on the wrong drug.
I see what you... Doesn't meth, like, crank you up if you're going to take...
No, it definitely cranks you up, but it's also... It makes you do some very silly things. My dad is a retired police officer, and apparently...
you're going to say, my dad
My
does
dad
meth
is a
a
meth
lot.
addict, and... no, he had his fellow officer, the partner that he worked with on the West End in Galveston. They apparently, for some odd reason, the highway in
baddest
Galveston,
part of town.
Yeah. No, but yeah, the HOA there.
I just want to say that your wager joke fell flatter than Zephalis did.
I didn't.
We're just so successful today, Ron. You and me. But they apparently that's a meth highway. I don't know why it's a meth highway, but it is because it runs through I guess because it runs through the quietest part of Galveston.
Well, you don't want to take it through noisy parts of town.
Exactly. But they pulled him over, and he had all this meth and plastic baggies and stuff in the back, and all his partner did was touch the plastic baggie, but apparently there was enough residue or dust on it or something like that.
Give him a little contact high.
So he got it on his fingers, and next thing you know, later, I think it was 30 minutes or an hour later, maybe. He's talking about he's on the radio. I'm chasing somebody. I'm in my vehicle right now, or my unit, heading blah blah blah. I'm after somebody. I'm trying to pull him over, and
was he talking really fast?
Huh?
Was he talking really fast when he did it?
I don't know if he was or not, but my dad's like, all right, doing the cop back and forth. I'm on my way. So my dad speeds on down there, and he's not at the location that he says he is, but he says he's there, his partner. And he later found him parked somewhere else. Yeah. Like
with hookers? Where was he?
No, he was just some neighborhood parked on the side of the road. And I guess he thought he was chasing somebody.
Wow.
Yeah.
You sure it was just meth? What was it?
It was meth. Meth will mess you up.
Man. Apparently so. Wagers after, remember, he was in a lawn chair. They find him with a bag of meth. He was then sent to a recovery home for people with substance abuse problems.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's being quite presumptuous.
Yeah.
But he only spent 8 days there before being kicked out for showing staff members pornographic material.
Staff members pornographic material?
Yes, well, but what else are you going to do in a rehab?
So he's doing he's doing community service.
The 35-year-old has since been arrested 7 times in the last 6 months, including twice within 3 days last Friday and Monday. Records show that Wagers has been arrested nearly 30 times over the past 17 years, most of his arrests for drugs and thefts. He remains in the Johnson County Jail, held with no bond.
None?
I can't believe it. I mean, it's only been 30 times.
Yeah.
Why not wait for the 31st?
Yeah.
Yeah. A trial for a previous case scheduled for this week has been rescheduled in light of the 2 most recent arrests. In Waterboro, South Carolina, Waterboro police there are asking people to be cautious after reports of odd behavior by a man inside the city's Walmart Supercenter.
Odd behavior in a Walmart Supercenter.
How would you?
Yeah, I was just going to say, you have to be acting very odd for somebody to point out odd behavior at a Walmart.
There's a whole website dedicated to odd people at Walmart.
Was he just acting normally?
Apparently so, or abnormally. Police said Thursday maybe the odd behavior was he was just saying hi to people.
Yeah, see, he was
dressed very nicely and saying hi.
He wasn't threatening to beat his kid or wife. He was wearing proper clothing. He was wearing a suit, probably.
Couldn't see his butt crack.
Yeah.
It was very strange. Police said Thursday they've received several complaints about an older white male in his mid-60s approaching women in Walmart and asking them to stand on his stomach.
Oh.
The man even reportedly offered to pay several women in exchange for the request.
I like the fact that he went to the Walmart to do that. He's like, where's the best chance that I'm going to find a woman who will accept money to stand on my Walmart?
Although I would have to say, given the content of that website that I just referred to, are there any of those women that you would survive them standing on your stomach?
No. No, because
you
either you might get crushed under the immense weight, or you will catch something. I don't. It's
one of the two. Yeah, I don't think I want to be underneath one of them. Although the act itself is not considered criminal, the nature of the request and the individual's suspicious activity led to this awareness post, is what they're calling it, according to the Walterboro Police Department. They say Walmart management has been made aware of the incident and reports that precautions have been taken to protect customers.
Oh, thank God.
I would like to see some of said precautions.
What are the precautions to stop these dangerous men from asking women to stand on it?
Perhaps they've covered the floor with broken glass.
Oh, possibly.
So that he can't lay on his back on the floor.
One of my favorite phrases, I think I saw it last night, but this entire week is kind of run together, was
it's gone by that fast.
Be the reason someone be the reason a place bans something.
You know what? That's a lofty goal.
That is a lofty goal. I like that.
If you're going to be on this planet, you might as well leave an indelible mark.
Yeah, exactly.
And a ban of something is a nice indelible mark.
Who is the guy who threw the or the woman maybe even who tried to dry her hair while in the tub?
Is that wrong?
Apparently it is, because they put the "don't do that" tag on there.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. You know what? And
she will live forever.
That's true.
Though she died in the bathtub.
See, that's ironic, Alanis Morissette. That is ironic right there.
Yeah.
And that's what they actually call in the tool industry, whenever you like buy a table saw or a hedge trimmer or even a lawnmower. On a lawnmower, for instance, it will have the little sticker that says, don't try to use this to trim your hedges.
Yeah.
Which means that, of course, somebody
did that.
Used it to trim their hedges.
He will live forever.
Yes.
Though his arms are gone.
Right.
But you know what my favorite Walmart memory is of all time?
What's that?
As
a child? As a child.
I walked into Walmart and I was just going to get some milk. And as I'm getting that,
just sounded like it needed a bell for some reason. I don't know why.
It did. As I'm getting the milk out and walking back to the front, three 16-year-old girls who apparently haven't seen each other for some time all pull up with a basket, each bearing a baby. None of them wearing proper 16-year-old clothing. And speaking to each other, "Oh my God, I haven't seen you in forever. Is this little Jim? Oh my God." And they just start talking about, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah,
This is
welcome to Walmart.
Welcome to Walmart.
Well, here's the thing about those stickers. In the tool industry, they called the safety department, the legal department, the sales prevention team.
Sales prevention?
Yes, because they had to put so many stickers and warnings, and it made every tool sound like it was going to kill you.
Yeah.
Right, that it was, there was no possible way you could do this without decapitating yourself. For instance, on a table saw, the sticker that, don't get your face too close to the blade. Or don't get your hand. See, if they put one saying don't get your hand or your fingers too close to the blade, I wouldn't have cut myself all those years ago.
You know what's really weird is that they had to also include these, because if they didn't point out the fact that you don't put any of that, if you don't, then they could be sued. They could be like, "No, we warned you guys first." So someone had a successful lawsuit.
We could have made some cash, is all I'm saying. I'll have to wait until next week for the tortillas. Netflix and chill coming up next. This be interesting. Daily MoJo.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The U.S. fight against the Taliban in Afghanistan has claimed 2 more American lives. 2 U.S. service members killed during a combat operation earlier today. These fatalities bring to 4 the number of American service members killed this year in Afghanistan. It is only speculation, but there's a lot of it. Rumors that the Mueller report will be released soon, perhaps as early as today. Vice President Pence has a problem with the city of Atlanta's chief executive.
The mayor of Atlanta recently announced that the city government wouldn't cooperate with Immigrations and Customs Enforcement when it comes to detention of criminal illegal aliens in this city. And it is amazing to think the mayor actually said that she would, in her words, not be complicit in an immigration policy that intentionally inflicts misery.
The vice president during a stop at the Immigration and Customs Enforcement's Atlanta field office. President Trump says it's time for the U.S. to recognize Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights.
The president proposed the U.S. policy change in a tweet, calling the Golan Heights an area of critical strategic and security importance to Israel and stability in the region. The Israeli prime minister has accused Iran of attempting to set up a terrorist network to target Israel from the Golan Heights, and on Twitter, Benjamin Netanyahu expressed his appreciation, writing, "Thank you, President Trump."
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. The crash of two of its MAX 8 jetliners could cost Boeing a bundle. Indonesia's flag carrier now looking to cancel a multi-billion-dollar order for 49 of the 737s. The airline citing a loss of confidence in the aftermath of the deadly crashes. Wall Street Dow futures down 150 points. S&P futures off 14. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-452-1075. 800-452-1075. That's 800-452-1075.
Hi, it's Doc Thompson for Matthew 25 Ministries. Matthew 25 Ministries is one of the few charities I'll actually endorse because I know them. I've worked with them, and I know almost all of the money that you donate goes to help people. Go to m25m.org. m25m.org.
Ladies, some of you sickos willingly accept that with the big doe eyes that you don't even need from a Snapchat filter and just look up at R. Kelly and say, give me your best.
The Rants of Izzo. United 7. MoJo 50.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252.
This is the MoJo 50 Institute for the Advanced Application of Freedom. Ya bitches. Mothership has landed.
All right, what the hell is fully loaded high caliber kitty saying here? Y'all need to be listening to Spoonie Radio. Trivia reveals that some raspberry flavor comes from some gland on a beaver.
It's the most
I think
random
DM
thing
did
ever.
that on purpose, dude.
That's beaver juice, son.
Did I just
That's beaver juice.
Non-sexual chocolate coffee has beaver juice in it. Oh my God.
Am I awake?
That's awesome.
Is this one of those weird dreams? You know, the morning after the worm moon or whatever it was the other night.
The worm moon?
Yeah, the super worm moon. That wasn't last night, the night before.
That was last night, wasn't it?
No, it was the night before. It was Wednesday night.
Oh, was it?
Did you not have weird dreams that night?
I always have weird dreams.
I've been the last
Like
couple
my
of nights.
dreams are strange.
I know I have dreams, but I can't remember them.
You know what that means, don't you?
No.
Oof. I don't. I shouldn't tell you.
Why is it that all the women who are on Cheddar, the anchors look the same? Is that just me? Is that like a? Is that like a
I think
cut?
it's a look.
It's like a cookie cutter cutout of reporters and anchors for
like Fox. It's the next generation of Fox News. Except it's left leaning. Dave L., wait until the reports come out about the chemical fire in Houston. Every single one of those thousands of rules that run refineries and transfer stations from someone's death. Well, that turned dark.
Yeah.
Larky F. and Farkin learned women at Walmart would accept money for anything. Except that one chick. She
Yeah,
would,
she
no
would
matter
not.
how much, I just...
She wouldn't stand on your stomach, and I actually thought she was being kind of rude about it. You know,
I know when you ask nicely and offer them the the Benjamins.
And I didn't think you should have gone to jail for it.
I didn't either, but apparently there are rules and regulations. Everybody got to live by the rules.
Seriously, Walmart, really? You guys are concerned,
right? Let's see. Before we get into Netflix and Chill, it is brought to you by. Who is it brought to you by? It's brought to you by Patriot Mobile.
Yeah!
It is brought to you by patriotmobile.com/mojo50.
I'm sure they appreciated that.
Abso-doggone-lutely. So now the promo code there is MoJo.
MoJo, that's correct.
MoJo. It's not MoJo 50.
It's just MoJo, and it covers the entire group of shows.
Got it. The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Now, if you use Doc, you'll still get there. But use MoJo. Are they taking his picture down? I mean, he goes on vacation and everybody starts taking his picture down from everything. What the hell's that about?
I don't know.
I just think it's a little, I don't know, seems a little hasty. I think we give the guy a shot at coming back. I mean, you got to get tired of Disneyland and the beach at some point, I would think. But if you go to patriotmobile.com, that is where you'll find true patriots, and you'll find phones, and you'll find phone service that that doesn't support things that you probably wouldn't support, being the proud libertarian or conservative that you probably are. Or in the case of Donna, the liberal who is just wandered into the wrong radio program, but still likes us anyway.
Yeah.
Because she has some common sense. Just saying.
Yeah.
PatriotMobile.com/mojo. You can keep your phone. You can keep your number. You can get a new phone, get a new number. If you're hiding from the long arm of the law, you can try to get lost in the system there. Either way. They support causes like the NRA, like Empower Texans, and a whole bunch more. You can find the list at patriotmobile.com. So if you are in the market for a phone, or you just want to change things up, get a strange phone.
Yeah.
That's where you start. patriotmobile.com. All right, we don't really have a theme for this. I just thought it'd be kind of fun just on Fridays that
Brad,
we just, what?
I see you have some morning wood in there.
Why, thank you. I didn't think you'd notice. Is it the fact that I'm not wearing pants?
No, it's the bottle of morning wood on the counter.
That. Oh, damn. Yes, actually, because Raider brought, is he dealing in like stolen booze or something? He shows up here all the time.
He shows up here with it all the time.
Booze.
He seems to always be, 100%.
He's got something in both hands all the time.
What's the deal with that?
This time
and
it was
today he brought
morning wood from the Buffalo Bayou Brewing Company, which, by the way, this aptly enough would be a good recommendation for Netflix and Chill. So it's not just about the movies. It's not just about the things that you would watch.
Yep.
It's about the accessories, the environment in which you'd watch it. For instance, I brought in today some of this. I saw it yesterday at Kroger. It is called Nourish.
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 You know, if they meant to say nourish, why didn't they just put it on one line?
Yeah, seriously.
But they are little, they're snacks.
Smack that right into the microphone.
As I'm trying to do. Otherwise, people don't know what I'm doing.
Does it taste like popcorn?
It is white cheddar popped ancient grain crisps. I don't know what ancient grain crisps are. They don't taste old. Try one of those, man.
Okay.
So when you are at home this weekend and you're chilling, and I mean that's what Netflix and Chill is, right? You're just chilling in front of the TV. That's what.
That's delicious.
Okay, so that's a good snack. So there's my snack suggestion for, when you're sitting around and watching some good stuff that we found. And it doesn't just have to be Netflix. It can be Amazon. It can be Hulu.
I'm always on the lookout.
It can be any service. Snack. Oh, and some good stuff to watch on the boob tube.
Oh, yeah. I'm always on the lookout for a new snack, and that's good. That's actually way better than I thought it was going to be.
I know, me too.
And, yeah, I would eat that during Netflix and Chill. My fiance said something like super sexy to me last night. It was crazy. She said, "We need to go on a beef jerky kick."
That's kind of a weird.
Sorry, I think I have a different definition of super sexy, but okay.
Oh, like none of you have really?
What?
Beef jerky? Like you don't love beef jerky?
Oh, I like beef jerky.
I like beef jerky.
That's like my favorite.
And
apparently we're trying to get healthier, and they make very healthy beef jerky.
But beef jerky. Here's the thing, though. After you eat beef jerky, you don't really want to be like kissing on somebody.
Says who?
You do what
I
you
don't know
want.
if they're both eating beef jerky though, Brad.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, you can't really
That's
tell.
true. It's kind of the popcorn thing, but so there's my suggestion for food.
All right, now what do you suggest that we watch?
All right, so here I'm. Let me start with. Let's do a round robin style. Let's just see how this works.
Okay.
Because why not?
Okay.
It's Friday and it's just three of us anyway. And Raider listening too. I recommend The Staircase. I have a list here. I'm going to start with The Staircase.
The Staircase.
The stair. See, you didn't know about
Give
it.
us
did
a
you?
synopsis there.
The Staircase is about an author. It's actually it's reality. It's a documentary, and it's in 10 or 13 parts. And this guy is accused of killing his wife.
Oh, I've seen this.
Have you seen the whole thing?
No. I've seen the beginning of it.
Okay, it's fascinating. It's a documentary that takes place over 10 or 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it is, if you watched Making a Murderer, this is a lot like Making a Murderer, a totally different case, but he has footage going back all the way to the early 2000s. And the question is, did he kill his wife or didn't he?
Yeah, they like really keep you guessing.
So it's not a horror movie.
No. It's a documentary about a guy who's accused, and he's an author you may have heard of. So
what's weird is that like nobody would have thought for one moment that he would have ever killed his wife. Even his kids were like,
right.
And so his, they go back and forth about like they make you think, yeah, he really did it. And then like another part would be like, no, he didn't do it. I mean, like it's back and forth, and you have to make up your mind about it. But yeah, it'll take you for a roller coaster ride.
And it's called The Staircase.
The Staircase.
Is that that's on Netflix?
That is on Netflix.
That is on Netflix. So yeah, that's my first recommendation. That's our first. Well, how about you, Brandon? What say you?
My first recommendation, based on the things that I have been watching lately, Love, Death, and Robots.
We talked about that the other day, Brad and I did.
Really?
They're brilliant.
Yeah.
I only watched all the ones with the CGI characters. I didn't care about the cartoonish ones.
Brilliant. I don't know if I'd go brilliant.
I think it's brilliant.
Brilliant?
Yeah, I would say brilliant.
All right, brilliant. And why so?
Well, first off, I kind of like this whole thing that Netflix is doing now with the 15-minute short things, where they like the Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
That was funny.
Yes. Okay, so it's kind of like an episodic, but I mean, like they don't take 30 minutes. It's not a full episode. It's just a short story that they show you. But Love, Death, and Robots. It's a collection of animated shorts from different directors, producers, writers, and stuff like that. Some of them are CGI, some of them are just straight up.
And the ones that are CGI, you have to do a double take.
You can tell on a lot of them, but there's a couple of those characters.
It's the mouth.
There's a couple of the characters in those CGI ones that literally. I was having trouble determining whether they were a real actor.
Well, I wondered if they during those that you're talking about. I wonder if they actually did have people acting stuff out, and then they just overlaid that digital look to it.
That's entirely possible.
Ron was feeling guilty because he was feeling a little amorous toward a few of them.
Well,
not really. No. Once you watch the first episode of that, you'll go, okay, these are going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. The first one that popped up for you was the monster fighting.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Because
that was odd.
It was odd, but I would say that they apparently, according to TechCrunch, they experimented with rearranging the episodes based on your viewing history. So
really?
Yeah, some episodes might appear in a different order. So like for me, it was the monster fighting episode, followed by the tourist robots.
Yes, followed
by the murder loop.
Whoa! So wait a minute. So based on your viewing history on Netflix, they rearranged each of these little vignettes to suit your tastes.
Apparently, yeah. So that it went from beginning to end based on how you watch it. But Netflix has been doing stuff like that, like with Bandersnatch. It's choose your own story.
Well, I didn't watch Bandersnatch, but I watched Black Mirror.
Yes,
the first one, and it put them in a different order for me.
See, that's so crazy that they're doing that.
It put all of the Black Mirrors in a different order for you?
It sure did.
According to Netflix, the reason they're doing that is because they're trying to further experiment on how to tailor your Netflix viewing experience best for you. But Love, Death, and Robots, to talk about the show itself, it is probably one of the most genius. Like, I just love the different ideas that you have, because they say Hollywood is out of ideas, yet you watch Love, Death, and Robots, and it's amazing. There are a few things, though, that I'm just
it's just still about sex and
well, definitely, like the one thing that I didn't actually
presentation.
I loved the animation style of the murder loop.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay, so the entire thing, just to give you this woman witnesses a murder.
Kurt Russell dies?
Yes.
knew it.
And Darth Vader is Luke.
No, that one's CGI, Brad. It's CGI with some additional animation added to the CGI characters.
But she witnesses a murder from across the way.
CGI is animation.
No, yes, it is. But also there's hand-drawn animation included.
It's cartoon.
Okay, gotcha.
They did that recently with the new Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie, which if you haven't seen that yet, definitely go. But
Murder Loop kind of threw me for a loop.
I thought it was a little strange because so this woman witnesses a murder from across she's in her apartment and the apartment across the street. She witnesses a murder,
kind of like in Rear Window in Alfred Hitchcock.
Yes, the guy starts chasing after her, trying to find her, and she runs away and she manages to get to the safety of her work, where she is a burlesque dancer, to put it nicely. But this
getting better all the time. I like.
Well, this is not a series you watch with children.
Yeah, not at all, because this woman spends the vast majority of this little short.
Weird.
This woman spends the vast majority of this short completely naked, just running around.
Is she hot?
She's CGI hot.
She's CGI hot. Let's say put it that way. But yeah, so she's running from this guy who's chasing after her because she witnessed him murder somebody, and she manages at the very end to get back to her apartment where she confronts the guy confronts her.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away.
Okay, but I'll just say that it's a loop, and I didn't understand why it was a loop. They never.
I didn't understand either. But again, you only get about 11 minutes per episode of this stuff, so
maybe some of them are just meant to.
If you don't have time to sit through a full movie of something, these are pretty cool to watch. I think the longest one was maybe 20 minutes, maybe
20 minutes. But I would have to say that my favorite one was the tourist robots. I thought they were funny, and I want an entire series of nothing but tourist robots.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
So mine, and I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but I'm into sci-fi and time travel and things like that.
Yeah, boy.
So my favorite one so far has been ARQ. ARQ.
ARQ.
Did you watch ARQ?
I have not heard of
Is that new or has it been out?
It's relatively new.
Why?
ARQ.
That sounds familiar.
And so this has to do with time travel, and it is about this guy and his girlfriend, and they're reliving this series, and there's a whole story behind it, but they're reliving this particular day because of this piece of equipment that this guy built for a company. And it's causing this time loop, but suffice it to say,
so familiar.
It takes about 20 different twists. It's really pretty
That's
cool.
interesting. So it's like Groundhog Day.
It's from 2016.
ARQ, yeah.
Trapped in a lab and stuck in a time loop, a disoriented couple fends off masked raiders while harboring a new energy source that could save humanity.
Huh.
That does sound good.
Yeah.
I sent that to you once, Brad.
You did?
You need to, you ought to watch it.
What do you think? I've got nothing but time to sit around and watch Netflix and
Dude,
chill?
you and I text back and forth every Netflix show we ever watch.
Sometimes videos sitting around naked.
Sometimes we need the rational distraction on the weekend.
That's absolutely true. All right, my second suggestion is you.
Y-O-U.
Y-O-U.
Watch me.
Have you seen the...
Yeah, I have seen you. And
I have not. What's it about?
Go ahead.
You is about obsession. It's it looks like it when you see it go by on Netflix. When you see the little teaser, it looks like a chick flick. It looks like I went by it 100 times before I bothered stopping because it looked like it was just going to be your standard chick movie. And it's about a guy who works in a bookstore, and without giving too much away, he becomes obsessed with this woman, and it's the lengths to which he will go to meet her, and more.
It's very light.
It's you think it's going to be a nice, lighthearted little, but it turns
dark,
really dark,
super dark,
super
And
dark.
it's just called You.
Yeah, You.
Y-O-U. Okay.
And what do you think? I mean, what did you think of it?
So my fiance and I sat down and we started to watch it, and it started strong. But we started to get a little bothered by it because, and I don't want to discourage anybody from giving it a shot.
Stalker type movie?
Yes,
okay.
It definitely is.
And
but
it's
it goes
a series.
a little further.
It's not a movie. It's a series.
So if you enjoy Dexter, let's say that.
Yes.
If you enjoy Dexter, you might enjoy You. However, it will not give you the same feeling fully as Dexter, and I think that's one of the reasons that, like, it was hard for me to justify the character's actions sometimes because I thought that they were a little too and sometimes like it was nonsensical after some time, and I was like, why did he do that? Like, that was unnecessary and yada yada yada.
But you look at any given headline in the news and you wonder why the hell any of them do any of the things that they do. So the scary part is it's possible.
No,
anything that he
possible.
did is possible, and you hear the stories all the time.
No, absolutely, it's possible, and I don't disagree with you there. But my problem with it is that it's not like it didn't make for a good storyline in that regard. You know, like we started kind of getting a little like after a while. We were kind of annoyed with the characters a little bit, and I
took you from a smarter guy than what you're sounding like now.
Well, you're a horrible person, and you like you. But yeah, I don't want to discourage anybody from watching it. It is a relatively decent show if you're, but you know, for me personally, I just couldn't get into it. I wanted to get into it
you
too.
have to be, I mean, I'll admit,
because
well,
no, I like dark stuff. I actually do, but the problem is that I don't know. I just kind of felt like it was. I was waiting for something like a Dexter like payoff, you know, that it was going to scratch an itch of mine, and then it just ended up not being that, and I just
you got an itch
kept itchy.
to be scratched.
I'm just itchy, Brad.
The way
I'm
that
itchy.
they describe it on Netflix is a charming first encounter quickly turns into something more nefarious when bookstore manager Joe takes a very strong liking to a grad student named Beck.
Yeah.
And she's hot.
Yeah.
She's smoking hot. Which I cannot condone what he did, but I'm not even sure I can understand it, but it certainly was fascinating the path he took. So that's
it is fascinating. The character has the potential, or had the potential, to be somebody like the next Dexter, because I really liked listening to his inner monologues and stuff like that, how he thought stuff out, and then after a while it was like, dude, you're not helping me here with What up, Jason?
But what is your next?
I see we both wore our green pullover.
Very nice. What's your next suggestion there, Brendan?
I would have to.
Wow, one of our suspicious packages
Jason,
fell over.
Suspicious package, dude. We know you can't handle those roughly; they could explode.
Right.
Hey-oh!
Thank you.
The next that I would have to, I'm going to have to go again with Ballad of Buster Scruggs. I know I touched on that just a second ago, but Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
That was unexpected to me too.
Yeah. I really liked Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
And then again,
and that's a movie with vignettes in the movie, right?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
And some of the, I mean, here's the thing. Ballad of Buster Scruggs is real hit or miss.
It is. Some of them are great.
Some of them are
not.
stupendous. And then some of them are just like, what the hell was that?
And it's the Coen brothers.
It is the Coen brothers, which made me super excited to watch it.
Weird.
Yeah. They can get really strange. But I mean, some of these, like the title skit, I should say the beginning, the Ballad of Buster Scruggs, amazing acting.
Well, they couldn't have picked a better guy to be
exactly. Holy crap, that was good.
See, I thought it was a movie when I first sat down to watch it. And so when you get 15 minutes in, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
That ended strangely, and then
it did end strangely, but at the same time, you're just like, man. It makes me sad.
I mean, they
sometimes.
have serious actors in this.
Yeah.
What's is it James Franco?
James Franco is actually in the next one.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, he makes a damn good cowboy. I didn't think he would, but he really does.
James Franco went from a character actor that I just really didn't like initially, but back years ago, to somebody who is he's kind of like James Spader. I used to hate James Spader.
Oh, now I love James Spader.
He's done very well, so he's grown into it.
But the guy who I really liked, the Gold Rush guy, I thought that was a really great skit. But then some of them, like I didn't like the Liam Neeson one. I thought it was a little strange.
That was weird.
Yeah.
It was a story of just using somebody.
Yeah,
basically.
essentially that's all it was. And I get the tragedy that they're trying to pull from it, but I don't know.
It's Lobster Boy.
It kind of was.
It's Lobster Boy.
It's Lobster Boy.
Because in the end, by the way, Lobster Boy, the guy that I saw at the freak show, he ended up, I think, killing himself later.
Oh, that's sad.
Like
and that poor kid in the one with Liam Neeson.
Yeah,
that kid's got the saddest look on his face.
I know
the
entire time. I'm just like, please let there be a good payoff for this kid. Nope. But, and so I'm just it's sad. But that said, I would say that that's probably one of the better things to come out on Netflix at some time.
By the way, Mojo Jedi said, my inner monologue is a constant bell ring mess.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I know. I don't have enough hands to do it.
So my last one is going to be one of the newest movies that's out there, and it's called Triple Frontier.
Ah, yes.
Triple
Totally
Frontier
agree. I've seen
has Ben Affleck in it. What's the guy from
Charlie Hunnam?
Charlie Hunnam in it.
And
it's got Oscar Isaacs.
And dude from Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, yeah.
Is it Adrian Pascal?
Pasquale.
Adrian Pasquale?
He's the one that the mountain killed.
Yeah. Don't be giving spoilers for somebody who hasn't seen that episode of Game of Thrones yet.
Oh my God, that was like years ago.
You get a year's worth of. All right.
Wow.
All the movies I would ruin constantly just from talking about them.
Spoiler alert for that last 30 seconds.
This was a good movie except for the last 30 seconds of it.
Oh, that sucks.
Yes.
All they had to, they set it up. They set it up for
the way they set it up for a sequel was just a total gut. It was like a woman standing on your stomach at Walmart. That's what it was. It was an over the.
And look, you get about, I don't know what, 2/3 or 3/4 into that movie, and then you go, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
I know. It's a morality tale. I mean, it's
no joke.
It's a story as old as the hills.
It's Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal.
Okay. And so, Brad, what's the synopsis? What's the synopsis of Triple Frontier?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll give you that synopsis.
Well, Brad has it
in 2 seconds.
If you had told me that
I was going to ask for it,
yeah. I mean, I'm sorry to hear about your computer in there not working, Ron. That
loyalties are tested when 5 former Special Forces operatives reunite to steal a drug lord's fortune, unleashing a chain of unintended consequences.
And boy, is it a chain of unintended consequences, and you don't see a lot of them coming.
That's what she
said. But it's
said.
really, really good. And Charlie Hunnam is a. First of all, Ben Affleck looks a little puffy in this thing.
He does.
He's coming off of the Batfleck depression.
Yeah, and the divorce thing.
Is this his latest, Ben Affleck?
Yeah.
Because this is just out, I think.
Yep,
Yeah,
2019.
but it's a Netflix original.
Yeah, and it's really good. Again, this was the one that was supposed to star Tom Hanks and somebody else, but ended up not. But as I was saying, Pedro Pascal, best death scene in Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
Best death scene.
That was absolutely amazing.
Now that I've given it away,
it was brutal. Yeah, now that everybody knows that he dies, you might as well.
It was brutal.
So all right, so I'm on a bad first.
I like this. This is a good segment.
See? This is for
I don't know how many
Fridays.
listeners we lost because we were talking about stuff, but this was fun.
Well,
crap. This is sometimes it's just for us.
We were at 38. Now we're at 30.
Right.
On Facebook.
You know what? If doing this show means I got to sit and talk about Trump and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez every minute of every day, I am going to Kroger and I'm going to bag groceries. So
he is going to go to Walmart and have a woman stand on his stomach.
It does start sounding a little enticing. It's your Daily Mojo.
High capacity, fully automatic, large caliber, Freedom. MoJo 50.
In the wake of the tragedy in New Zealand just a week ago, the Prime Minister announced a sweeping change of gun laws in her country, including a ban on all military-style semi-automatics and assault rifles, along with the parts used to convert those weapons and all high-capacity magazines. Oh, and there will be a gun buyback for those weapons banned under this sweeping change. Understandably, the massacre of 50 people at the hands of a madman has people wanting action to prevent this from ever happening again. New Zealand has decided immediate action while grieving is the way to go, but psychologists will tell you that making a decision based on anger and or grief is never a good idea. Those same psychologists will tell you that balancing emotion and logic is important. So let's look at the logic and facts surrounding guns and gun violence in New Zealand. The island nation is home to some 4.8 million people and has an estimated 1.5 million guns in circulation. That is 17th most in the world, by the way. Yet, there were just 48 murders in the entire country last year, not all of which came from gun violence as well. Oh, and that number was the lowest for total murders in over 40 years. There's also the small fact that the man who committed this horrific act broke a ton of already established laws against modification of guns, magazine capacities, and this thing we like to call murder. As for the buyback in Australia, one could say it was a massive fail. Only 1/3 of the guns eligible for the buyback were given up initially, and in 2017 the government had to take some 57,000 guns that should have been part of that buyback. It also has not affected violent crime in a positive way, as that number has been on a near steady increase ever since 1996. When you look at this situation logically, you see a country overcorrecting in the name of safety while taking away even more self-defense from its citizenry. I'm Andrew Coppins, and this has been By the Numbers. You can follow me on all of the socials at The Coppins Show.
By the Numbers with Andrew Coppins is powered by TarRiverArms.com. They've revolutionized online firearm sales with high-resolution pictures, 3D imaging, and the best prices. How much will you save? Find out at TarRiverArms.com. That's TarRiverArms.com.
The Daily Mojo.
What's the brown guy doing behind me? I've got some brown person behind me. I don't trust him. He's got a gun. He's got a gun, doesn't he?
He is.
Ah, jeez.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, don't stop. Whatever you're doing back there, do not stop.
It was magic.
I love it when Jason wanders in here.
Me too.
He's just,
Me too. Whenever Jason you never know what he's going to do when he comes up behind you. And usually it's a very pleasant experience,
it really
I've got to
is.
say.
You see, there was a time that, like Jason, I had hair. Wasn't wasn't thinning, falling out. It was so I remember what it was like to be Jason.
Oh, really?
Years and years ago. Thanks for depressing me.
You're
by
welcome.
the way,
You're welcome.
Daily Mojo continues. It's the Brandon Morse and real Brad Staggs and real Ron Phillips, guy behind the glass over there. And so, are you saying that people weren't enjoying our Netflix and chill segment? Is that
I
what
was
you were saying?
concerned
'Cause
about that they might not be enjoyed, but there's a lot of people who don't do Netflix or TV in general. But quite honestly,
what the hell's wrong with them?
Quite honestly, Netflix is doing pretty well these days.
Then it doesn't have to be Netflix.
Jekyll Johnny, actually, he wanted to participate. He put his own list down, it seems. He said The Staircase at the top.
Good.
Love, Death, Robots. Black Mirror. Supernatural.
Yeah.
Murder Loop.
Yep.
Oh, wait. Arc. Ballad of Buster Scruggs, Triple Frontier. So, he was just going through here and just kind of...
Thank you.
Yeah, he was taking notes.
Thank you.
We have a fan who is taking notes.
Thank you.
That's important.
That is the kind of dedication I want to see from our fans.
Yes. That and Lusty Jill Hole, the intern.
That's right. Who is awaiting patiently in the corner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Exactly.
she is. And she's been very quiet.
Yeah, she has been. She doesn't say a word.
No.
She waits patiently.
All right. So for those of you who did not enjoy the Netflix and chill portion, let's talk about finance, shall we? Ed Moya is a chief market strategist at Oanda. Did I say that right, Ed?
Yes, you did. Oanda.
And you keep your fingers basically on the pulse of not only the economy but money in general and the Fed and all of that. So we wanted to talk to you about essentially what's going on with the U.S. economy. And it basically, let's start with the Federal Reserve, because I think a lot of times when the Federal Reserve issues any statement, warning, anything they write down on a piece of paper and send it out can be very confusing, and I oftentimes wonder what the hell they're talking about. You say they've delivered what you're calling a dovish message about the economy in general. So tell us what's going on with the Federal Reserve.
And thank you for having me on, guys. Well, basically, the Fed is very concerned about the U.S. economy, and many were expecting them to downgrade their forecasts, their outlook as far as how much economic growth we'll see this year. But the problem is that they were a little overly concerned, and that kind of sent a little ripple effect throughout all the asset classes, saying that, you know what, we're just going to wait and do nothing for the rest of the year. And that basically just sent a message that, okay, they're not going to tighten, they're not going to raise rates. You raise rates, typically that will kind of trigger that yield curve inversion that will signal a recession down the road. And basically, it was just such a concerning outlook as far as the U.S. goes that, everyone says, well, I'm going to just park my money back into stocks because the Fed is not going to do anything. Because when the rates go up, then, people would take money out of stocks, put into bonds.
Right.
So basically, it was just very nice and clean message.
What triggered them to be concerned about the economy in the first place?
Well, there's a lot of headwinds that are right now affecting everything. And right now we're seeing in Europe, there's tremendous slowdown. And even early this morning, there was just some terrible manufacturing data from Germany. We live in a global economy. The U.S., yes, they're the largest player, but they need the rest of the world to do well for us to thrive. So we're having a lot of slowness in Europe and in the big countries, Germany and France. The trade war with China has really, really crippled their GDP numbers, and that's been having a major trickle-down effect throughout the rest of the Asia-Pacific region. So the trade war really has been hurting things, and there's like all these other headwinds that are contributing to this.
Well, and on that note, the trade war with China, I'm assuming people are laying that at President Trump's feet. The stories I've seen lately, and this may or may not be connected, but I'm sure you can tell me if it is, even on the recycling front, I mean, China has been the biggest buyer of our recycled goods or recycled materials, and they've cut back on that. Does that affect our economy as well in some way?
There will be a minimal effect, and there's all these promises, more soybeans. They're going to open up their markets. But in the end, when we take a look at it, it is just a small portion of the economy. Mm-hmm. And I think that what most of Wall Street and most of the financial community is expecting is that there will be some type of trade deal that will kind of alleviate all these tariffs, these punitive measures that each country is doing. And the trade war is not going to go away. They're going to, every month or quarterly, they're going to revisit the terms. Is China upholding their end of the deal? And chances are they're going to cheat, because historically, they made promises, they failed to deliver, whether it was with President Obama or other administrations. They said they would do something, whether it's military in the South China Sea or other things. They've always disappointed. So we're going to probably see the trade war be a never-ending story, but the markets need a little bit of a boost, and everyone is holding back because the trade war, once the trade war has some type of big Band-Aid over it, where China and the U.S. have that photo op, they shake their hands in Mar-a-Lago, they agree, then it allows the China Central Bank, the PBOC, to provide more stimulus for their economy. China does better. It helps everyone in that region, and then the U.S. can move forward as far as trying to maintain 2% growth.
Well, taking that tack, if China is always going to cheat, let's say, at any deal we have, wasn't it the right move then for the president to impose these tariffs on them? I mean, if they're not going to play the game the way it should be played, or by the rules, as it were, is it in our best interest to just keep playing the game with them cheating, or do we take these retaliatory measures against them? And does that make sense to do that?
Well, the president is trying to level the playing field, and regardless of what happens over the next few months, the president has done a lot in making China offer concessions, and this is something that we will see some positive effects in the long term. There's probably going to be a lot of scrutiny over what deal does get done, and the motivations are for both sides to push forward a deal. Now, there are lots of arguments on why they will try to delay it, but I believe that they will come up with something in the next couple of months, and I think that the president will have received several key concessions that are deliverable. We will see that trade deficit narrow. We will see promised purchases of other goods. We will see, we have already started to see some of the key, intellectual property theft measures. They have already delivered some rules that their companies are now enforcing. So will it be perfect? No. Definitely not. Will the U.S. be better? Will the U.S. be able to have better business relations with China? Most likely. And that is, in the end, going to be positive for the U.S. and the global economy.
Okay, so for those of us down here in the trenches out there just doing the 9-to-5 thing, sometimes the Federal Reserve speaks and we just all kind of turn a blind ear. What does this mean to those of us? I mean, does this mean that going to the grocery store, it's going to cost more to buy food? Does this mean that our retirement accounts are going to lose value? What does this mean down here on our level?
So for right now, on that level, typically and historically, what it should mean is that we would see stable stock market. We would anticipate possibly one further push higher When we do have a recession triggered, that will, really put a dent in the stock market rally. But I think the Fed's decision is likely positive for people who are just have their money parked in the stock market. Maybe they're in ETFs, and they can know that right now the Fed is not doing anything that should derail that activity. Now, there are other headwinds that could cause the market to sell off, and we are seeing some of them early this morning in these headlines. But for the most part, it is a clear signal that the Fed is going to support their economies, which should help the stock market. You're seeing that in Europe. You're seeing that in China, Australia, all across the world.
You say that there's something called the Amazon effect, that the retail sector of the economy is still kind of stinging from that. Can you explain?
What Amazon has done is they've really changed the way people buy goods. And my holiday shopping this year, I went to maybe GameStop once, and that was because my nephew wanted to actually pick out a gift, and I was excited that, okay, I could take him to a toy store. There's no more Toys R Us.
Right.
And you're seeing that happen. It's going to happen to the pharmaceutical industry. It's going to happen to other industries where everyone is just buying online. So the value of having storefront property is diminishing, and it's something that you're going to see a continuing trend as everyone is starting to just focus on their online efforts. And, that is the way of the future.
And just this morning, we saw the report that Lifeway Stores is closing all of their retail locations. Again, that's an indication of the Amazon effect?
Very much so. And you're going to, as we constantly see Macy's and all these other giant retailers, they're trying to, everyone, it does seem, is reducing their storefront. Some when you take a look at the Walmarts too, those are some of the companies that have started to succeed online. And so you're starting to see there are some businesses that have, welcomed the online way of selling to customers. And the old brick and mortar store business front, it's kind of last decade, and we're looking forward, and we're going to see Amazon will likely continue to hurt these businesses, and eventually you'll probably see government try to make Amazon's life harder. But for right now, it just seems this is the way of the future. So is Amazon the new AT&T? as far as going back 30 years when they broke up the Big Bell system? Yeah. Well, right now they are the giant. Yeah. They're not to be messed with, and they do have a lot of exposure as far as other businesses, cloud revenue, and there are, once you grow too big, then you have lots of other problems. So. Get a little top heavy. And finally, on the oil industry front, gas prices down here when we're filling up our cars, they seem to have been going up, which means that I'm guessing on the oil markets are a little dicey right now. They are, and what you're seeing typically, and everyone is used to, okay, wintertime, gas prices, they could be low, and of course, summertime when everyone's trying to do their beach trips, go on, take the family cross country or whatever, prices go up. It always does. Well, this time we're starting to see there's an interesting battle between Saudi Arabia and the U.S. President Trump wants lower oil prices. Lower oil prices typically can help stimulate the economy. It's kind of like an extra tax cut. The Saudis want oil prices to be higher because a lot of these the OPEC members, they in order to be profitable, they need to have oil at certain levels. Some say 45, 55, others it's lower, higher. And right now you're having a big production battle. And right now the U.S. dominance in oil is starting to take effect. And in the few years, the U.S. is going to be the dominant player in oil, and they're going to really have the power and really dictating price. But right now, OPEC is doing everything in their power. They're having all these production cuts. They're trying to keep prices stable because they're kind of getting used to having oil at $70 $80 a barrel, and they would be more happier to see prices around there.
Sure.
So right now we are starting, as we get to these warmer months, we're going to probably see there will be further catalysts to see oil prices rise higher, but you're going to see that rising U.S. production, which should derail a lot of these overextended moves. So oil prices most likely could rise, but it shouldn't be like a few years ago when we were over $100 a barrel.
Right. Well, and what they've done, the past few years is they've gotten us used to saying now, wow, $2.50, that's cheap. They jack the price. The prices go up to $4, and suddenly $2.50 looks really, really affordable. So it's that old game. Again, Ed Moya is the chief market strategist at Oanda. And how can people find you if they are looking for you, Ed? Are you on social media?
Yes, they can go. So I provide everyday market analysis along with my team at marketpulse.com. Marketpulse.com, that is. And we are a part of Oanda, which is also oanda.com. So you can also find us there.
Marketpulse.com. And all right, so all across social media as well. Ed, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. And have yourself a fabulous weekend, my friend.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Right. So more of the same old from the economy. At least
Wouldn't you know it?
At least we're not tanking.
Yeah.
That's the good news. At least it's stuff with it we're used to.
Yeah.
So gas will be going up, and then it'll come back down after.
Yeah.
After
it still sucks, but
yes,
at least
it does. But I'm telling
it's not going to suck any more than it already has.
Remember when they got almost up there to what, $4 a gallon, and people were, and then it comes down again to like around $3, and $3 a gallon. It's affordable now. It's conditioning.
Yeah.
It's as long as they can get us to that point. We are the sheep.
Yep.
We are that which is sheep.
We are that.
I'm fascinated by this.
Which is the easily led
stack of stuff here that is sitting on the table.
Yeah.
For those of you listening, it is it's boxes, it's large envelopes, it's oversized envelopes, and this is all part of Suspicious Package
Friday on the Morse code.
You have all the fun.
We, you know what? I took a leap of faith when it came to our listeners, and I wanted to see if they would send me their package.
Yeah, and they did,
and they could not wait to send me their package.
They wanted your hands all over.
And I will Jason and I here in a little bit will be putting our hands all over these packages. And if you would like to participate in Suspicious Package Friday, please send your package to 6125 Airport Freeway, Suite 201A. It's right there.
It's 201. You can set it 201A, 201B, 201C.
201D.
Just put if you put upstairs.
Haltom City, Texas,
next to the beautiful MoJo River.
That's right.
The crystal blue waters, which right now, if I can't think of a better place to have a family picnic.
Exactly.
Than sitting out on the banks of the beautiful MoJo River. Do not approach the grizzlies if they. They're friendlier than most, but
they even walk like people.
They do. They walk up on their hind feet most of the time, but they're still wild animals, so we don't recommend that you approach them.
Don't look them directly in the eye.
No, it's good advice.
But they are Brad's people, so you need to
get along. They have more hair. You ever heard of misophonia? Misophonia?
Misophonia?
Misophonia.
Misophonia. What is it?
It is a weird condition, and I happen to know a couple of people with this, and I thought it was bogus.
Yeah.
But it is when ordinary noises in life drive you crazy.
Really?
And not just irritate you, but one woman, she described her, she's an 18-year-old high school senior, name's Ellie, in Pittsburgh. She says the sound of her family chewing their dinner can be unbearable. She describes it as, my heart starts to pound. I go one of two ways. I either start to cry or I just get really intensely angry.
Wow.
It's really intense. It's as if you're going to die, she says.
Wow.
She's been experiencing this reaction to certain noises since she was a toddler. She recalls a ride home from preschool when her mother turned on the radio and started singing, which caused her to start screaming and crying hysterically.
Really?
Now, at any other time, I would say she's just a spoiled little brat.
Yeah. But this is an actual condition somebody has.
But they say misophonia, which sounds phony, but they say it's real, is characterized by intense emotion like rage or fear in response to highly specific sounds, particularly ordinary sounds that other people make. The cause is unknown.
So when it comes, it could be like, is it a bodily sound, like a
no, not
like
necessarily,
chewing or something
I'm trying
like that?
to see if there's not a napkin. You don't have a napkin in here, do you?
No.
For one person I know, when she hears, essentially, if this was a this is paper, but when she hears a napkin, that noise from a napkin freaks her out.
Really?
I have so my nephew's girlfriend,
right?
She can't do cotton balls.
You are kidding me,
No,
because I know
when
another
you pull
person.
a cotton ball apart, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and I know somebody else like that.
Freaks out, dude.
Okay, see, this girl, she's local here, and when she hears a cotton ball, first of all, she says cotton. It's cotton. It's not cotton. Cotton. I freak. But no, when she hears this, the sound of a cotton ball,
really,
a cotton ball, being pulled apart, it just freaks her out.
Maybe next Friday we should just do an entire episode filled with sounds and just
where we just get a cotton ball right up in the
it's
microphone.
almost like
and
it's almost like an ASMR episode. We're just gonna,
we need a chalkboard. We got one of those. We can run our fingernails across.
But
it.
everybody knows that one. That one is just,
that one's type.
That's the dentist drill. But I wanted. So wait a minute. So
my mom has this problem with people who scrape their teeth across forks.
You ever bitten into aluminum foil?
Oh, no, that hurts my teeth.
Right. Okay, so the cotton ball thing fascinates me.
That
because
is fascinating.
what the hell is wrong with them?
Yeah, why?
She said she can literally hear the sound of the cotton strands tearing apart, and it just gives her the creeps. I don't know. It's
Okay,
weird.
I've never actually sat there and
Please don't rip me. Stop ripping me apart.
Then I need to hear this. Apparently, I've never heard it because
it's a high pitched
screaming sound coming from the cotton. Yeah.
No, I mean, I know the sound, and it doesn't. But I wonder if it's like the dentist drill. If I hear a dentist drill,
does that send shivers up your spine?
Yes,
really.
But I attribute that to just having been in a dentist chair,
yeah.
and knowing
that I'm probably not numb enough for them to be hitting me with that drill right now.
Giant pussy. If I'm in that chair, and even if I'm getting my
Dude, they
teeth
have to hit me
cleaned
with like 2 or 3 Novocaines
and
Lidocaine,
nitrous. I
whatever.
will not do it. Even a tooth cleaning, I will not get it without nitrous.
I cannot stand the sound of somebody chewing into a microphone.
Well, and oddly, hold on a minute. Because you see, they say chewing is almost universal.
He's such a dick.
Gum chewing is almost universal.
The funny part is like because that was crunchy, it didn't bother me as much. But like if it was like,
how about this?
Now here's the thing: voiceover artists that use those large condenser microphones, dude, they hear every little squish and squirt and everything in somebody's mouth. It is ridiculous.
But it doesn't make you want to die. Hear it.
I've heard from my friends because I've never worked at drive-through before, but apparently, according to my friends who have,
you too good for the rest of us?
Well, no, I was busy selling cameras and toys while my friends were slinging blizzards at DQ. Apparently, microphones in the drive-through, they pick a lot of stuff up. And so they said that you can actually hear conversations happening in the car behind. So if you think that you're not being listened to and you're saying something, they might be able to hear you talking. Which is why sometimes I'm just like, you know, like if somebody says something like, she was rude or it's like, shut up, wait until after we're leaving so that they don't spit in our food or something like that.
Does not, I mean, how ironic is that? The fact
my biggest fear, somebody going to spit in my food.
They can't, it tastes like chicken. So how the hell come then, why can't they put that sort of sensitivity on the microphones that they use on their side so we could understand a damn thing that they say through those speakers?
Yeah, it's a little strange.
Sir, would you like fries with that, sir?
It's every time.
I'm going to get myself a hamburger. Would you like to taste?
They A, never teach anybody how to use the microphone, or B, if try to learn like a legible form of spoken English. And I don't mean it ugly. I'm just saying there are some people who maybe their second language, but how about as a manager, you don't put them on the drive-through?
Oh, you know what I cannot stand? I've come close to actually like I love Cane's, all right? Cane's chicken tenders and stuff. I think they're great. My problem is that you pull up, and when I pull up to the drive-thru, all I want to hear is
fast. We're running out of time.
All I want to hear is, yes, what would you like? Instead, they're like, chicken, chicken, chicken. What chicken you picking? And like they're having these stupid little things. I feel so bad for them.
Or a pre-recorded thing when you drive up there that you got to listen to.
Smoothie King does that.
Always confuses me because it's one voice that says the first thing, and then the other person comes on. Can I help you? All right, let's wrap this thing up.
What do you mean it's let's go?
Yes, my friends, the sound of that there train whistle means it is once again the end of Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo. But before we go, as always, let's find out what we learned today. We learned that you should always be careful when you wish for a new intern because you just might get it. And they might have lobster hands. We learned that barking like a dog from a rooftop may attract the attention of the local constabulary, especially if you're naked.
I don't know why.
I don't either. That seems like something that would be so benign that it would just people would right past them.
Country is this now? You can't bark naked on your own roof.
Right. We learned there is a God, that Rosie O'Donnell will not be doing the audiobook of the Mueller report.
As far as we know.
It's true. It should be out later today. And finally, we learned I'm already filling out my Kroger application. Bitches. The Brandon Morse. What, if anything, did you learn today?
Well, Brad, I'll tell you, when Jason appears behind you, expect good things.
Right? Mm-hmm. Why didn't you warn me about that? I mean, I would have...
I wanted it to be a pleasant surprise.
And it was fabulous.
If you need your stomach stood on, I'm sorry to report that Walmart is not the place to have it done, contrary to popular belief.
Right?
Yeah.
They seem to frown on such things.
I'm a little disappointed in this discovery here. I thought that, Walmart was the place for these kinds of things.
It
but
takes you up. You get the Rosie O'Donnell news, takes you way up, and then you get the Walmart news, takes you way
I know,
down.
man. God,
What
I'm
if,
so sorry.
What, if anything, the Jackholes learned today?
The Jackholes learned, Jackhole Timmy the Pilot. Timmy the Pilot said, I learned that I need to put a leash on my co-pilot so she will stop running off with Brad and Ron.
Especially Ron. I mean, Ron has had his paws all over her.
I
Just
know.
saying.
Yes,
I know.
have. Thank you very much.
Slut Monkey Jill Hole said, Rosie's voice gives me a bad case of mesophonia.
See, it is real. It's not Israel. It is real.
Yep.
You got to be careful when you.
Richmond Joe said, bringing last night's date to work isn't like bringing her home to the fold. It's more like bragging. I wonder if she'll move to the guest chair when Skinny Jeans guy comes in.
She'll be sitting on his lap, no doubt.
She'll be sitting on my lap, yeah.
I mean,
that's probably what's going to happen.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, well, she's got to go somewhere. She can't just sit there forever.
It's the fishnets.
Yeah.
You know, I've got to say that, and I feel bad talking about it right in front of her, but I will say this. She doesn't have a nose. I mean, it's like a real...
Wow. Yeah, it is
I'm not sure how her
strange.
glasses are staying up.
And I'm not going to lie, the way her hair is kind of like put on there, like the drawn on hair, it kind of more looks like she's got sideburns.
You know,
like chops.
we need one of those that gets shipped in a crate.
Oh,
one of
yeah.
those silicone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
We would never go home. We would never go home. We'd all be crammed on the couch trying to catch a few winks. So in addition to Suspicious Package Friday, what else is coming up on the Morse code?
I have no idea.
That's excellent. I would expect nothing less from you and the brown guy in there. By the way, we will get to those new numbers on procrastination as soon as Doc Thompson gets his lazy ass back from vacation. How much Disney and the beach can you really stand?
I don't know, but we're gonna find out.
Your Daily Mojo is a Ron Phillips production. Wherever you go, whatever you do this weekend, live by the 5 rules, and you have a shot at being right and being happy. In the meantime, good night, Doc Thompson.
Wherever you are.
See ya.
Six Semper Tyrannis.